Evolution. Sports Talk Television live here nightly. All Bucs Report. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Devin White, giving you something to think about on tonight's show. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. So how's that for no nonsense? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the New Orleans Saints 30-20 to move on to the NFC Championship game versus the Green Bay Packers here live on Bucs Report on the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. And all you heard all week long was defense. This defense was questionable. This back end of the defense was questionable. 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions against Drew Brees that led to 21 points. That was the difference late in the game. Devin White sealed the deal, and then Mike Edwards with an interception. So, guys, I'm enough with the intros here. Let's go out to the phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Let's hear you. Ed from Palm Harbor, you lead it off here on the Sports Web. Yours truly, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. What do you have to say?
I am fired up, baby. I am amped up.
Yes, absolutely. I can hear it. Get a little bit closer to your phone there, my friend, so we can all hear you as the Bucs take care of business. Yes, go ahead, my friend.
Oh, my God. They played a perfect game. You couldn't ask for anything better than that, really. I mean, you're playing against the best team in your division, maybe the best team all around. I mean, here's one thing I will say. Drew Brees looked old tonight.
Well, and whether he looked old or not, I'd give credit to where his credit is due. Maybe it's not on the stat sheet there with sacks, but they got enough pressure. And even if they didn't get the pressure, we talked about it all the time here, Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. If these defensive backs would step up and do what we know they can do, which is play to that potential, which is play that physicality of Bucs defense, and they were on the spot tonight, whether it was Carlton Davis, whether it was Sean Murphy-Bunting early on in the game, whether it was Jamel Dean when you make plays, and then Antoine Winfield with a big-time play for this defense to give the momentum back to the Bucs to go down, because it looks like the Saints are going to go down and score.
Right.
You needed that. Big time.
They definitely needed that turnover.
I can't hear you, Ed. Go ahead.
Devin White had a hell of a game today, too.
Yes, he did.
45.
How many tackles was Devin White on the game? I mean, here's this all. It had to be over 10 tackles. Fumble recovery after Winfield does the peanut punch, and then an interception
to seal the deal.
Guys, go ahead, Ed. Keep on talking. Go.
Yeah, I mean, he had an interception. He made plays all day long.
Devin White is live.
I was very impressed with the defense. I was saying the whole game on Facebook. I was like, the defense is here to play.
Right.
They were playing better than they normally play against the Saints. And
yeah.
I was like, hey, you know what? That's all we need. All we need is the offense to wake up and score some points, and they did. They got their opportunities. They made the best of them. And here we go. We're going to Green Bay.
Yep, Green Bay next week at 3:05. We will be live at 1 o'clock here from the Deck Bar and Grill, getting you ready for the NFC Championship game. And Bucs fans, are you starting to believe? I told you at the beginning of the season it was Super Bowl or bust. And the reason why, Tom Brady in this game, 166 yards in the fourth quarter, really stepped up. And I'll tell you right now, it wasn't the prettiest offensive display, but also another point you look at here, and I think this is important, guys. The victim of volume, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, combined 35 carries for 126. You look at Brady's pass-to-run ratio here, 33 passes by Brady, 35 runs. We knew they could do this. This is the way you had to beat the New Orleans Saints, and they did it tonight. Ed, thanks a lot for the call. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you. Absolutely. And we're off and running. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Once again, Bucs take care of business in the Big Easy, 30-20 to move on to the NFC Championship game. Final numbers, 18 for 33, 199 yards. I think he had 200, but he had the kneel down there for the victory formation. 2 touchdowns, 1 key pass, a couple key passes. Guys showing out. We talked about rookie class, right? Tyler Johnson with the big-time third-down conversion, and Scotty Miller with a 29-yard pass. Let me go out to Mr. Matt Colson. Matt, welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. What do you have to say?
How about that? Got to tell Jameis to stay home. We got a business trip next week. He can't come.
Yeah, absolutely. Eat a W. Eat a W.
The only real play they had in offense was Jameis Winston.
Yep.
It was obvious that Drew Brees wasn't Drew Brees. And that defense did exactly what I thought needed to be done. I think I told you the other night, I figured if we held them to field goals through the first half and came back in the second half like we normally have been doing for the last month, this was a victory.
Yep.
And by God, they didn't play it exactly like I was talking about.
Yep. Agree. Absolutely agree. And I tell you right now, I think the most impressive thing is, look, they got enough pressure, but it didn't show up in the stat column. But anytime it seemed like the Saints were trying to threaten, they got some third down conversions tonight. But I tell you right now, that back end, even with that big play from Jameis Winston in the first half, after that, they didn't really give up any big plays. And everything
What did I tell you when that happened?
Oh, yeah.
When
you have to do that, basically, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
You're going with trick plays. That tells me, and look, give credit to where credit is due. The Saints played tough in this game.
Yes,
they did. But I think the game plan come down to this. We were talking about it all year long. If this team would stay balanced, and they have the running backs, Fournette, Ronald Jones, whatever you like. And I tell you right now, Jones could have had some big-time yards in this game, if not for a penalty. But I tell you right now, if you run the ball and you have that balance to your game, you are going to be unstoppable. You really are.
Yeah, I think they've got the game that they can take to the snow.
Exactly.
Be productive.
Exactly.
And they're peaking at the perfect time.
Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't really see anything that I didn't like.
Right.
For the kickoff.
Right.
Return, that first special team score they got.
Yeah.
The Saints. But overall, it was like I was just sitting here waking up the neighbors because nobody. I was getting loud at the cat.
Yeah.
I tell you what, everybody in the neighborhood probably yelling at the back door and telling me to shut the hell up.
Right.
But it's good. It was fun. And I'm pretty confident we can do something if we can do the same kind of game plan next week.
Right.
Where we can control the ball. I think we got something.
Yeah.
That's really. I think if we can get past Green Bay, I know we can beat Buffalo or whoever comes out of the AFC.
Well, look, you have to look at it this way from the standpoint of with the Bucs. They've gone to 2 pretty good defenses, and they've had some great success. And again,
wait. I thought somebody said that they only beat 7 and 9 teams.
Right. That's what I thought too. They just beat the NFC South champions.
Wait. I don't see them in the comments section.
No, not there. It's amazing.
You know what I hear, Peter? What are those things that make those noises at night?
That's what it is right there. That's what Saints fans are right now.
Oh, that cricket.
Right there. Right there. So,
who that?
Yeah, who that? Eat a W again.
Yeah, that. I tell you what, and with Mahomes, with Kansas City Chiefs having to play with him, they got the second string guy up there now.
Yeah,
and
Chad Henne.
It's a perfectly golden opportunity if we just win one more game.
Well, and that's what you got to do. And, of course, a lot of Bucs fans remember that first matchup between the Packers at Raymond James Stadium where they absolutely destroyed the Packers 38-10. Aaron Rodgers, one of his worst games. And the reason why is because of that back end.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Edwards showing up once again tonight. Antoine Winfield.
Antoine Winfield is really the one that, well, besides Sean Murphy Bunting, when the momentum started going back to the Saints, Antoine Winfield took that away by that peanut punch.
Yep.
And it just kept going from there. They
late in that third quarter because
gosh.
It looked like the Saints were about to drive and handle business again. But once again, put the Bucs.
Last interception that we got. That was Devin White, I think.
No, Edwards.
That was Mike Edwards. Yeah, Mike Edwards.
He went down the sideline, punched the.
Oh, that was Devin White. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he threw all his shoulder behind him. He's like, we're going places you're not.
Right.
Sit down.
Right. And I'll tell you right now, to the Saints' credit, they continue to try to run the ball tonight. Kamara, 14 carries for 76 yards, but the Bucs made adjustments defensively. They shut down that running game. Big-time loss not having a Latavius Murray. They ran with Montgomery. That Bucs defensive line really stepped up and put Drew Brees in that situation of 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 8 where you want to be, where basically if you're throwing short, all your defensive backs have to do is do their job, defend the pass, be aggressive, not pick up penalties, which that happened tonight. And we were looking at it and we were like, where's that penalty at? But, hey, it is neither here nor there. The Buccaneers take care of business. What else, Matt?
Well, I don't know what else to say. You can't say anything other than, wow.
Yes.
This is a long time ago.
Yes.
You know, when you think about it, the last time we had where you knew the defense was going to buck up and create their own victory.
Right.
That was the golden era.
Yeah.
We see that tonight. We saw it from the Sean Murphy Bunting.
Yep.
The what's the name, Junior?
Antoine Winfield.
Antoine Winfield Jr., yeah. Yeah.
They were playing, and they weren't playing that soft zone stuff. They were
No.
in people's face, and that's what I said this morning. I was telling people we need to do that. If we do that, we got something. Because we own the Saints when you know Brees can't run and he can't throw.
Right.
And that's where he's at right now. So as long as you know that, you just got to work against the only strength that he had.
Yeah.
Sue was clogging up the center, man. He was grabbing the daggone Kamara and just stopped him like a bag of lunch.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where it looked like Shaq Barrett was going to get after Brees, but the Bucs did a great job of, once again, containing and doing their job and tackling. We've seen them where Brees is running out on that naked boot. He pops it off to a tight end or a running back, and a Buccaneer misses a tackle and you get a first down.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and this is Drew Brees' last game. He's saying goodbye right now. This is it. This is it. He's done. He's had a great career. But again, and Matt, thanks a lot for the call, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and fire those cannons for you right there. All right, my friend, we'll talk to you later. The last time Drew Brees threw 3 interceptions was
against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Week 14 in that 16-11 loss at Raymond James Stadium. So there you go, Drew Brees with 3 interceptions, of course, 4 turnovers tonight. And you have to feel bad for Jared Cook because the peanut punch by Antoine Winfield, which Devin White is the man on the spot there, and then the deflection later on to basically seal the deal for Mike Edwards there was not a good night for Mr. Cook, not a good night for Drew Brees, and the Bucs move on.
Yep, the Bucs move on. Saints are looking, they're over the cap, got to make some roster moves.
Yep.
They have a lot of decisions to make. The only decision the Bucs got to make is what time they're taking the flight to Green Bay, baby.
That's it. All right, let's go out to the webheads here. LFG says Edward. Buck Squad podcast with the muscles. Milo says fire those cannons as we shall. Ben says bring on the Packers. Let's go. Buck Squad podcast NFC Championship. Anil Gary, go defense. Anil Gary again, go Bucks. Carey says way to go Bucks. Fire those cannons as we shall right there. Want to make sure we get all to your comments, but again, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web live from the Deck Bar and Grill after a thrilling Bucs victory over the New Orleans Saints 30-20 to move on to the NFC Championship game versus the Green Bay Packers. Carey says, way to go, Bucs. Fire those cannons. We did. Championship, here we come, baby. Alfredo says, go Bucs. Well done. Keenan says, hell yeah, fire them cannons again. He's going to get a workout tonight. Jonathan says, woo-hoo. Edward says, hell yeah. Let's see. D. Boog Williams, I told you all the Bucs had this Super Bowl. Here we come. Brian Carey says, booyah. Joe says, go Bucs. Let's see here. Keep on reading comments. Tyrus Tank Crawford says, let's go. Matt Colson just called. Tell Jameis we have a business trip next week. Too bad he can't come. David says, fire those cannons. I'm not going to say that word. Let's see. Freddie says, yes. Absolutely. John, hell yeah, NFC Championship. Me, Sador, Saints brought the brooms, and we brought the shovel. Love it. Anwar, none. Let's go, Bucs. Bring on the Packers. We're ready. Let's go. Russ says, Bucs with the muscles. Go, says Anwar. Deshaun Tisdale says, let's go. Harold says, shout out to Devin White in the defense, the O-line as well. I want you to do me a favor. Can you go ahead and get those statistics up for Devin White? How many tackles he actually had tonight? But, of course, recovered a fumble, had an interception. What did you see really quick on that play with White? Undercut the coverage there. It looked like they were going short, and he just read it. What did you see on that?
They usually like to go to that hash mark, and Devin White was just in the zone at that time, so he jumped the route before the receiver got to finish. And Drew Brees, as he always does, he throws the ball before the receiver's ready to catch it. And Devin White was just ahead of time, was a step ahead that play, undercut the route, made a pick, and was running before he even caught it. Yeah. It was just a great week of studying film by Devin White and just a great play made by him. Clutch performance for a guy who missed 2 weeks, one being playoff against the Washington football team, and he looked like he didn't miss a beat.
And he looked like he was motivated, and he looked like he was clearly the leader. Not to take anything away from Levante David, but it looked like he was the leader. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Mr. Blake Anthony. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Woo!
I know who that is.
Here you go.
Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Deshaun.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Devin White said it. He's on his Twitter, chomping at the bit. He's been going off that he was going to go. He was just going to go bananas this game.
He did.
What did he do? Blake, you saw it early the other day when he was tweeting. What did he do? He came out, 11 tackles, interception, fumble recovery.
Yep.
This guy is a beast.
Yes. Yes, he's a beast. And that's the reason. That's the reason why you draft him at the 5th overall pick. And a lot of people like myself, look, I was wrong. I didn't necessarily believe it, but goodness gracious. 11 tackles tonight, 1 fumble recovery after Winfield causes an interception all over the field, harassed absolutely Alvin Kamara. Anytime Kamara or a tight end or a wide receiver just knocked him out. And if there was a corner, and I saw this early on in the game in the Sean Murphy bunting, great form tackle, White cleans him up. That's how you do it. There you go, right there. There's a future webhead there. Excited about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning over the New Orleans Saints. What else, buddy? Well, he hung up. You have to call back here. Let me get you back on the line here, Deshaun. I don't know what happened there. But we'll get him back on again. We got lots to talk about tonight after this big-time victory. Deshaun, you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, I just thought this defensive line, they got in there. They harassed Brees a couple of times. I know a lot of people always look for the stat, the stat to just get there and get the sack.
Sure.
But what you saw in Ndamukong Suh a couple of times, they get the pressure, they get that extra half step that you get after he's released the ball and knock him down. They take him down a couple of times. That speeds up Brees' clock. He knows that they can't go deep. When you saw, like Blake said it early, he called it, when you see gadget plays out of an offense, they cannot do anything else. You don't pull out gadget plays if your regular offense is working. So once that happened, we just stayed in there. We were able to stifle the run up enough. Look, Kamara's a great player, tons of touchdowns this season, all-purpose yards all over the place. He was going to get yards.
Yep.
But we consistently can keep him under 100 yards, and that's it. This Tampa team right now is built for the playoffs, and this secondary is only going to get better. They're going to look at the mistakes. Look how great Jamel Dean played today. S&B, he was doing his thing today. Kudos to the secondary. Edwards, safeties look really good out there, and look at how the phenomenal catch on the outside by the rookie Tyler Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What a big time.
Everybody forgot about that one.
That was a 3rd and 11, was it not?
That was a big catch.
Beautiful throw, but an even more beautiful catch by Tyler Johnson. Then, of course, Scotty Miller, we mentioned a 29-yard bomb. And Brady wasn't accurate all night long when it came down to 20-yard passes, but that was beautiful.
But did he have to be? Because, listen, this team is now rolling in looking like giving you the yesteryear feeling of Tampa. We're coming in with defense leading the way.
Yep.
The offense can do it. And then what do we do when we look in the backfield from the offensive side? We got a thunder and lightning.
Yep.
We got a thunder and lightning going on because I'm telling you, Fournette is just rumbling down, just constantly getting what he's getting, hard yards. Then you get Rojo coming in there, and I'm glad he didn't tweak it, but I was like, okay, did he tweak it? Then you see him come back in, and he's hitting it again.
Yep.
And I'm like, this kid's got another gear. I think he has another gear.
He does, and I keep on saying that the victim of volume Fournette, when those guys are running, you look at the carries tonight, 35 for 126 yards. That's actually more times than they pass the ball.
Yeah.
And we kind of go back to the Vikings game, right? 26 runs, 23 passes. You take care of the ball. You take the ball away. You convert on 3rd downs, and your money. You're 30 to 20.
Peter, what's the biggest part of all that, what you just said? 0 turnovers.
You win the turnover war. And who would have thought Drew Brees? But again, give credit to where credit is due. This defense really stepped up. Especially in that back end, especially.
Oh, definitely. And, hey, you know what? I'll tell you someone else, another group that needs some credit here. Listen, that offensive line opening up holes on the run. Harry the Greek always said it. He said you got to help out with this line. You can't make it one-dimensional. You can't let them know that you're going to be passing. And, listen, they brought Rojo in. They passed. They ran. They had Leonard Fournette in. They passed. They ran. You could not just pick out what we were going to do. We weren't one-dimensional. You had to play us honest. And when they kept those safeties back, Brady was able to take advantage of that, and then the run game was able to just punch up in there because they didn't have enough. Listen, we got to get to the tape and look at what Stinnie did. But listen, this defensive front, we only with 2 big sack people on their front from a statistical standpoint, we only gave up 1 sack today.
Yeah,
we gave up 1 sack.
That was a blitz. A linebacker blitz.
And exactly, a linebacker off a blitz. So listen, looks great. Oh my gosh, I'm ecstatic. Let's go. Fire those cannons.
I will fire those cannons for you. Woo! All right, Deshaun, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 if you've been under a rock. The breaking news of the night. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the New Orleans Saints 30-20 to move on to the NFC Championship game. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Of course, this is the Advanced Auto Parts Sports Web live from the Deck Barn Grill. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. Let me go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the Evolution. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Please turn down your phone.
My name is Trevor Hedrick.
What's going on, Trevor? What do you think about this big win tonight?
Man, it was a hell of a game, man. It reminded me of the Eagles game back in 2002.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And you're somewhat right. I tell you what, right now, Trevor, I tell you why you're right, because that start by Deontay Harris, and they get out, and the Bucs defense, to their credit, shuts them down to 3-0 instead of a touchdown. But it's exactly the way it happened with the Eagles. They get out to a great start, big-time special teams play, and they get on the board, and everybody's like, oh, no, not again. All Bucs fans out there were saying the same thing.
Don't forget that the Eagles had already beaten up the Bucs that year, and they get to play him again. So, yes, it's very similar. He's absolutely spot on. Spot on.
But what I think one of the main things was shutting down early in the first like that.
Yeah.
Them only do 2 field goals, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
Definitely tying them down in the first half. And then in the second half, the only time I was sweating was when they started running the ball so much.
Yes. Me and Peter were talking about that, too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, there were some. There
did a really good job on D.
Yeah.
Shut them down good.
Yep.
And limited to them. Limited Brees' options. You know what I'm saying?
They really did. I didn't hear from Michael Thomas tonight.
Quiet.
I didn't see a lot of big plays besides, of course, the trick one, which was right before the half there, which got them on the board. But besides that, you didn't really have a lot of big plays, not a lot of big-time breakdowns. And once again, physicality by this back end. These young corners really stepped up tonight in a challenging situation. What else, Trevor?
I mean, I'd have to give it out to Brady. Obviously Brady's, smart about holding it in the pocket and playing the game smart, letting the play develop. But I think it was Brady's youthfulness of taking advantage of all of his options, not just throwing to Evans tonight
Sure.
or throwing to Gronk, you know what I'm saying, but really getting to some of those younger guys and really watching them step up and prove themselves in the playoffs.
And credit to Brady not trying to force the ball. You know, that's the thing. That's what you heard last year with a lot of fans with Jameis Winston trying to force the ball to Mike Evans. And Evans didn't have a great night. He had a touchdown, but it was short distance, a 3-yard touchdown. You know, Godwin had a couple catches, nothing special. I mean, this passing game, you know who the leading receiver was tonight?
Leonard Fournette.
Nope. Well, I thought it was Cameron Brate. Maybe it was Leonard Fournette. It looked like it was Cameron Brate.
He had a lot of receptions.
Yeah.
I thought it was Cameron Brate.
I thought it was
It could have been, yeah.
I thought it was too. But check those numbers.
I'm looking at it right now.
Just take a look at those numbers. I thought it was Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate had some big catches in this game the second straight week, and it tells you, and there were some opportunities there for Gronk. Gronk had a big catch, but it looked like he had that catch in the end zone.
A little more touch.
A little bit, just a little bit.
It falls right in his hands.
Right.
All Gronk needed was like an inch or two.
Yep.
An inch or two close to the ball, and he would have had that. It was just right at his fingertips, and he couldn't pull it in. Same thing with I can't remember who it was, but in the first half,
Chris Godwin.
Yeah,
Chris Godwin.
Godwin should have came down with that.
Yep.
Definitely should have been a touchdown.
Yep,
He should have
sure,
brought
yep.
that ball in a little bit quicker there, you know what I'm saying, and held on to it.
Yep. No, I agree. I absolutely agree. So give me the numbers there. Trevor, thanks a lot for the call. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you, my friend. Give me those numbers there.
It's actually close. Leonard Fournette and Cameron Brate were the two leaders. Only reason I say that is because Brate had 4 receptions for 50 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Fournette had 5 receptions for 44 yards and a receiving touchdown. So they're damn near close to each other. Just one had a touchdown, one didn't.
Evans and Godwin tonight.
Godwin 4 for 34. Evans, of course, just 1, 3, and a touchdown, which is fine.
You give credit to Lattimore. You give credit to that Saints defense shutting him down. Let's go out to the webheads here, read some of these comments, and then we'll get back to your phone calls. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Live from the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla de Sol. It's the Sports Web, brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. That show can be seen and heard here
tomorrow,
Monday and Fridays at 3 o'clock. You ready to go? All right, let's go back out to the webheads here, read these comments. Shout out to Devin White in the defense. Absolutely. 11 tackles tonight. Been a while, but we're here. J.R. Harris says Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay. Tyree says, okay. Let's not go there. What a huge win by this organization. Bring in the GOAT and get you a seat at the NFC Championship game. Let's go, Bucs fans. I got one question for you. Are you starting to believe in that Super Bowl or bust? I get it one game away. Anytime you have a Tom Brady at the controls, you got a chance. And on top of it, when you run the ball more than you pass the ball and you're successful, I mean, what were they averaging tonight on that run? 35 carries for 126 yards. Go ahead and check that out. When you're averaging that type of yardage, it cuts down on those second downs.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette, 17 for 63, but he was averaging 3.7 yards a carry.
3.7.
And then Jones, 13 carries for 62 yards, 4.8.
So what it does is it basically opens up your playbook. It cuts down on those opportunities. Instead of being in, like the Saints were tonight, when those third down conversions, you're in better manageable situations, which opens up the playbook. And we saw tonight this running game, leaving the running back in there and doing draws, that also worked out here. So let's keep on reading these comments from the webheads. Let's eat, says Itlslim. Tampa says Deshaun. Brian says, let's go, baby. Kwame right here. Woo! Bucs win. I got all the passion, Mr. Blake. I love it. There you go. Jamie Cruz says, yeah. Joy says, overwhelmed with joy. Good. Have one. Have a couple shots tonight on me. I'm not going to do it. I have to host the evolution of Sports Talk Television, but you're more than welcome to do it. Defense was amazing tonight. Landon says, let's go. Kevin says, LFG, I was more worried about the Saints than the Packers. Bucs got to beat the Packers and get to the Super Bowl. Devin White, Russ says, defense stepped up. Tim says, I'm a sofa king, baby. Go Bucs. Landon says, Peter, they stepped up. They absolutely did. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you right there. Lee says, let's go Bucs. Landon says, let's go Bucs. MVP to the secondary. Jay says, Bucs win. Judy says, we're going to the Super Bowl. Well, they got to get to the NFC Championship first. You got Mr. Philip Schwagler on here. Let me go ahead and get back to the comments in a moment. Editor-in-Chief of Bucs Report, how you feeling, big man, tonight? I mean, a stressful game. We're sitting there watching it, But I tell you right now, Devin White all over the place, and this is the reason why you draft him 5th overall, 11 tackles. You were missing him last week. It was a big loss last week. They beat the Washington football team with the mentor, but you could see how much White means to this defense. A man on the spot, hitting tackles, and being there to get that interception late, and, of course, recovering the fumble. Your thoughts?
I told you in pregame. Excuse me, my voice is a little gone. I was getting a little excited there for a minute. Told you at pregame, Devin White's going to be the X factor. He's going to be the guy just running everywhere, doing whatever he can to win the game. The interception, he had some really hard hits, but this defense showed up. They played the defense they should have been playing against the Saints. The past 2 times I played in week 1 and week 9, playing that man coverage, straight up bumping at the line, whatever they can do to prevent Drew Brees from getting comfortable. That's exactly what they did.
And that defense, 21 points off of turnovers, 3 interceptions by Drew Brees. By the way, the last time Drew Brees threw 3 interceptions.
Oh, it was 2016 when the Buccaneers won 16-11 at home.
There you go. There you go. And that's most likely his last game. He's going to be in the booth. And once again, the Saints have their struggles in the playoffs. They do not get to the NFC Championship. It will be the Bucs. But talk about Antoine Winfield with that big-time play, a momentum shifter. Harry the Greek, our professional handicapper, always talks about the Mo. It really gave the Bucs the momentum with that big play by Winfield.
No, it definitely did. And he would have had that 1 interception if he was about what I say, 4 inches tall. He would have had that.
Agree.
But, coming up with punching that ball out of the chicken wing there to get the fumble. And I can't remember. I think Devin White got the recovery on it, but that was a big momentum switch. I think that's really what pushed them into the 4th quarter for the Buccaneers to be able to set up and really, put the game away for the most part, especially with the run game going on.
All right, so let's hear from you guys. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Bucs fans, how you feeling tonight? Are you feeling festive? Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to the NFC Championship game versus Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and, of course, people remember that early game where this Bucs defense, namely Jamel Dean with a pick 6 to the house, really absolutely got a lot of pressure on A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers in the first matchup, winning 38-10. But this Packer team right now playing very good offense. You feel pretty comfortable going into Lambeau with the way this game plan has been shaped up versus the Saints. I believe they can do the same thing versus the Packers. Do you believe the same thing?
I do, and I don't want to get too much into it because we have a whole entire week to cover this game. But I'll tell you why I like this defense against Aaron Rodgers. Ndamukong Suh. I'm giving right there. Ndamukong Suh. That's why I like this defense against Aaron Rodgers. Those two have been going at it for years now.
Kind of like a Brett
Favre type deal.
All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Mr. Philip Schwegler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. What do you have to say? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bucs Report. It's Shooter, man. I'm just sitting here celebrating a huge win and had to call up because I am pumped.
Absolutely. Shooter and Stash does a great job. Great shows. I know I can't think of it right now. The show that you do, it's on Wednesday night, but you guys cover the Tampa Bay Lightning. But of course, some of the cartoons that you done of Tom Brady and this team, just Tampa Bay sports. You guys live and breathe it. We love you guys. So what do you think of this game tonight? Just a huge victory. And once again, the Bucs defense really steps up, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to see these guys stepped up because it was such a question mark. But Devin White coming back, and oh my gosh, he was just all over the place. Like they were saying his name every single play, it seemed like. And then that pick. And, man, I was just shocked to see this defense just kind of take over the game because I'm expecting the offense and Brady and the boys to really win this game for us. But it was really the defense that took the game over in the second half. So it's amazing to see. I'm happy for all the Bucs fans. It's crazy that we got to go back to work next Sunday and play another game against the Packers because it feels like, we won the Super Bowl already, but it's not over. And, Brady's not going to let these guys have that mentality.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely not. You talk about the game plan in itself, 35 carries by the running game, 126 yards, 33 passes by Tom Brady, taking care of the ball, no turnovers, winning the turnover battle. You got to like, again, this game plan with the running game with Fournette and the victim of volume and a Ronald Jones.
Oh, yeah. I was just screaming for them to keep running the ball. It seemed like at the beginning of the game they were doing so many. They got a bunch of 3rd and 1s, and, they were throwing it deep. And I was like, why are we not running the ball? Because it seemed like they were getting just chunks, and it didn't matter what running back it was.
Yeah.
So if those guys can keep it up, watch out, because that's what wins Super Bowls.
That's it.
Playing defense and running the ball. And, by the way, we've got Tom Brady and Gronk and AB and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Right. Absolutely. No, absolutely. And, for me, just seeing, that trick play by Jameis Winston, you're like, and it goes back to what Blake said. If they're trying to do trick plays, what does that tell you about how good this defense is playing? And, of course, credit to them. They got a busted coverage. It worked out for them. But, during the game here, Shooter, that defense really didn't give up a lot of big plays. And then on top of it, they were giving up some yards to Kamara in this running game. They made adjustments, shut down the running game to make Drew Brees get into those situations where it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, right?
Yeah. And you kind of knew once the Bucs got up towards the end of the game in the 4th quarter that I felt like it was over, because you knew Brees – he doesn't have the arm anymore.
No.
He can't throw that deep.
No.
And look what happened. He had to, and the Bucs secondary just came through. And I love to see that happen, because if they can just carry that momentum, they are going to play a quarterback next week that can throw the ball. So
he can definitely throw the ball, and he's definitely mobile. So you got to watch out for the mobility thing. But I tell you right now, I feel very confident in, again, this game plan of what the Bucs did tonight. And this defense right now has the momentum. They're playing well. You have Devin White, who just played lights out, the man on the spot with, a fumble recovery, an interception late in the game. They're coming together on all sides of the ball. And who could forget Ryan Suckup? How many times, Shooter, have we, and we're on with Shooter and Stash Shooter here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, how many times have we seen field goal kickers lose games to the Bucs? Tonight, Ryan Suckup was money.
Yeah, and it wasn't even close, right?
Nope.
Right through the middle.
Yep.
And it's been so long since we've had that. Oh, man, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy for you guys and all the Bucs fans out there that we're having this success. And, man, I just hope they keep it going. It's been really fun to watch. I'm too pumped to even think about going to sleep right now.
Well, and don't,
until you're off the air.
Right, there you go. Don't go to sleep, because, we'll be on for 2 or 3 hours here. We'll see what happens. I want to keep these guys up all night long, but I know there's a lot of rowdy Bucs fans out there having a good time, so definitely have a good time. We'll see you on the show. Feel free to call in. We'll get you on as a guest. Of course, once again, promote yourself, Shooter and Stash. You guys do great animation. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Not quite.
Yes.
But it's an exciting night. You can
Animation.
find us, Shooter in the Stash. You'll find us. You'll see the dopey animations. It's hard now. It was easy when the Bucs weren't having as much luck, but it's a little harder when we're so good.
Yeah.
But hey, let's just keep this thing going, and let's see how far these boys can go.
Absolutely. Sounds good, Shooter. All right, let me go ahead and fire those cannons, and we will see you this week. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you. All right, boss?
All right, guys. Go Bucs.
All right, there you go. Go Bucs. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. A happy Deck Bar and Grill as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the New Orleans Saints 30-20 to advance to the NFC Championship game. Tom Brady in this game, we mentioned an 18 for 33, 199, had 200 yards there. To that credit, we talked about all the outside targets, and it looked like Antonio Brown was hurt. He went out. Scotty Miller came in. Tyler Johnson with the big-time catch. Tell you what, let's get back to that in a moment. Let's go out to Mr. Rick Hughes from the cheap seats. What's cooking in the South? Rick, your Bucs are in the NFC Championship. Go.
Hallelujah. Woo. Okay, so I want to point something out.
Yes.
Let's talk about which area of the game did the Saints outperform the Buccaneers. Let's see. Punt return. Yep.
Correct.
Offensive line. Nope. Defensive line. Nope. Passing game. Nope. Running game. Nope. Turnovers. Nope. Defensive back. Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nothing. Not one freaking area other than the first 2 punt returns.
Yep.
One was called back.
Which it should have been. It was a block in the back. By the way, Fox, stop showing the replay. Anthony Nelson got blocked in the back. Enough.
Yeah, no, it was obviously that.
Right,
Yeah,
obviously.
No doubt.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm beside myself understanding, holy crap, this wasn't just a win, this was a complete win.
Yep.
This was an absolute complete win. This felt like Philadelphia all over again.
It did.
And no, we didn't shut down the vet, but we ended Drew Brees' career.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's the same kind of thing. I'm telling you, man, there's this team, no matter what happens next week, no matter what happens, this grand experiment has worked.
Yep.
And flat out, let me say it flat out, it's Brady, not Belichick.
Yeah.
Thank you. And even his former tight end, Jermaine Wiggins, talked about how important it was. And we talked about it, how tough it was to beat a Tom Brady 3 times in a year. You can barely beat him 2 times a year. Congratulations to the Saints in the regular season. But when it came down to it, postseason football, he was really good tonight. He had some throws he missed. There were some drop passes, but overall, not turning over the ball, converting third downs. That's what you need in that point. And when you have a defense that's willing to back you up, calls turnovers, you get those short fields, and that's where all those points come off of, turnovers, because of the short fields.
Yeah, man, there are so many players to get props to. Sean Murphy, Bundy,
Big game.
Devin White,
bigger game.
Everybody on the offensive line.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And oh my gosh,
Let me give a quick shout out to the mental toughness of this team, because this got chippy early. As soon as that punt return happened, that's when it got chippy. I was expecting a full-out brawl at the end of the game.
Sure.
Mike Evans trying to find Marshawn Lattimore. But definitely congrats to those guys and Bruce Arians for getting these guys mentally ready for this game.
Absolutely. And I want to say, what's the guy's name? I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now. The first game that he's ever started.
Oh, Aaron Stinney.
Aaron Stinney.
Stinney.
Holy crap. Bravo, dude.
Yes.
Bravo.
Yes, because how many sacks did the Saints have in that game? 1 sack?
Yeah.
I mean, Donovan Smith, stop talking about Donovan Smith. Donovan Smith played well, although, albeit, right. I think Hendrickson wasn't necessarily healthy, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say Donovan Smith has played out of his mind. This offensive line has played out of this mind. They had a big holding penalty, which negated Ronald Jones's big run because he could have had more yards in this game. Yeah. But besides that, overall, Brady was clean in this game. And you could see he had some time to go through his progressions and find some receivers, especially on a big-time third-down conversion to Scotty Miller, which is huge.
Well, and you want to know, this is what I love. I don't know if Wirfs had a good game because I didn't hear his name the whole game.
Right. Doesn't that mean he didn't? You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Hey, I just want to point this out real quick. Jason Light and picking these offensive linemen from these small schools who play in the FBS and all this
it's
stuff.
Working,
like that.
Jason Light.
It's working.
Don't listen to some of the fans
Whoever
out
is
there.
scouting for those offensive linemen, give him a raise.
And by the way, all the people that were against drafting corners, now you can see the plan. Now you can see Sean Murphy bunting. We talked about it. When he's consistent, when he's playing physical, boy, he is something else. He was hurt a little bit tonight, came back in. Jamel Dean, Ross Cockrell had a good game. Didn't look back on the touchdown there from Traquan Smith for 16
yards. He had that nice pass breakup.
Right, but he had some pass breakups. I mean, everybody, Carlton Davis stepping up, the safety stepping up, Antoine Winfield stepped up all year long, a rookie. The way he's played, I mean, honestly, you could say that Winfield has been one of the biggest differences to this Bucs team with some of the plays he's made this year, especially in this game. That's Peanut.
Yeah, he was. Who wasn't great this game?
Yeah,
you know, and I mean, props to Tyler Johnson.
Yes,
that was a big man catch.
Tyler freaking Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the circus catch, I mean, it just makes you think, holy crap, what's coming in the future?
Yeah,
like if they would have figured this out earlier in the season, and like you could be looking at a different record there.
Did we get any confirmation about Antonio Brown? Was he hurt? Did he look like he was hurt in the game?
No, he didn't look bad hurt. No.
Okay.
He was on the sideline laughing and talking to Brady.
Well, I mean, that's the depth they have. I mean, we talk about it all the time, the depth
Scotty Miller.
Yes, Scotty Miller. And look, Brady wasn't great with 20-yard passes tonight. In fact, I think he was 1 for 5, but that one pass was a huge pass to Scotty Miller for 29 yards.
And the reason he wasn't great is New Orleans let their safeties just hang back there.
Right.
That's fine. So
Right.
what did they do? Thank God the coaching staff woke up and let them stick with the run.
Yep.
First time ever, they let them stick with the run.
Yep.
And they ran. Boy, did they run.
They did.
Thunder and lightning.
Yep.
Man, they were amazing.
They were.
This is perfect. Let Fournette pound the living crap out of the other team and wear out that defense.
Right.
And then bring in Rojo.
And let him cut him up.
Yep. I mean, and really, you look at Rojo, some of the moves he was making tonight, just the victim of volume. When he gets out into that space, he goes to that second or third gear. Somebody was telling me off air tonight, he looks like he has another gear. I'm telling you, he does. Yeah. And when he gets healthy, and hopefully he continues to be healthy, gets over this quad injury, because I thought he pulled it, but he pulled up a little bit. So we'll check on that. But you could see some of the runs tonight, and if it not for that holding call, and I'm trying to think of the offensive lineman who it was on against against Cameron Jordan, where he basically grabs him right in front of the official. He has more yards in this game because he had a big time run, and boy, he was almost to the house.
And just it was. Listen, when you look at this team, and I mean, I'm laughing at the fact, that segment I do on my show, stuff Bucs fans say. I got lots of material because some of the Bucs fans, I'm like, what the heck are y'all complaining about the defense? I'm like, do you not realize how great this defense played today?
Yeah.
I mean, 4 turnovers, they owned this game. And I mean, this guys, this is the ride we've been waiting for. This is what we dreamed about when we sat there, when we couldn't believe the luck. When, Brady signed, Gronk signed, McCoy signed, Fournette signed, when all the dominoes were just falling. And look, and listen, and I said this earlier, I was talking to the dude earlier tonight, and one of the things I said is this: when Bill Belichick threw that phone, that to me, you see the Buccaneers who last year would have been throwing phones, things coming apart, everybody losing kind of control, and you don't see it this year. You see the Buccaneers acting like the Patriots have for years.
Yeah.
Now you see the Patriots, the wheels coming off. So it's Brady. It is Brady. Brady changed. Brady along the area. Obviously, there's a lot of pieces, but I believe truly the drive for excellence comes from Brady.
Yep.
And that's it's so exciting to see. And let me tell you something. The Bucs fans, I'll leave you with this. Strap yourself in because Brady's playing more than one more year. We got a ride ahead of us.
We definitely got a ride ahead of us. And I tell you right now, when White gets that interception, who in watching that game doesn't think Tom Brady's going to lead them down? And of course, Blake Anthony sitting next to me goes, watch the quarterback sneak to the A gap. And sure enough, Brady in for the 1-yard plunge, which is the way he started the year, which is amazing in itself. He started the year with a 1-yard plunge, and he ends the Saints' run with a 1-yard plunge. Mr. Rick Hughes, thanks a lot for the call. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons. First and foremost, go ahead and promote your shows here on Bucs Report, please.
Just do this. Come Tuesday night, for what's cooking in the South. Tuesday night, 9 o'clock.
All right, my friend. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you. Mr. Rick Hughes, thanks a lot for your call. There we go. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. It's your Advance Auto Parts Sports Web live here on Bucs Report. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with our editor-in-chief, Mr. Philip Schwegler. Taking your calls and your comments. Let's go back out to the webheads. We read that one. Go Bucs, says Ken. Landon again. I'll take all that back from last week. Okay, Landon, then I'll go ahead and fire those cannons for you. Connie says, let's go. Let's go out to our professional handicapper, Mr. Harry the Greek. Welcome to the evolution after this Bucs big victory to move on to the NFC Championship game. What do you have to say, my friend?
No need for applause, gentlemen. Just throw money back at me.
Well, I'll tell you right now, this guy right here said the Bucs were going to win outright, and he also said on my show, and this is why he's on the Sports Web, my professional handicapper in that second half bet on the Bucs, and there you go.
Not only just the second half,
the
first half.
Yep.
the game.
Yep.
And you know what? I got to go back to the conversations that we had on the for the people that missed it on the Friday show for the Sports Web when we were breaking down the game.
Right.
And we were talking about what the Chicago Bears did, what they did differently, and how Tampa was going to pick up that game tape. Well, apparently, both teams picked up some of the game tape from that game. Let's start with New Orleans. The very first thing they did with Jameis Winston, they ran that exact same play that Mitchell Trubisky ran.
Correct.
And threw the perfect pass to the end zone that Javon Wims dropped. Unfortunately, it worked for New Orleans. But you know what I noticed even more in that game? Tampa, for the first time this year, over 50% of the plays ran man coverage with safety help over the top to go ahead and disrupt it. They seen Chicago do it with a banged-up defensive line, with 2 corners being out of the game, and they were healthy and completely dominated that game. I know Blake is sitting there listening to this smiling because we were just talking about it when we were down there earlier today.
Yeah.
But there were so many things that came to fruition about what we were predicting, how the Bucs were going to handle this game. And I said they would run the ball over 20 times. They needed to run the ball over 20 times, regardless whether they had success, because that would keep Brady upright. What happened? 1 sack. That's it. 1 sack. Now, that's how you win football games.
That's it. And
now, next week, you go back to Green Bay, you run the same type of game plan, because Green Bay is very susceptible to the exact same type of offense that Tampa just ran.
Correct. Were you surprised that Lattimore and that secondary shut down Mike Evans and Chris Godwin tonight, and still the Bucs were successful?
You know what? Marshawn Lattimore probably played better tonight than he has all season.
Yeah.
My hats are off to him. The way he played this evening, it really surprised me, because I was talking to Philip outside before the pregame show, and I was making a comment about Marshawn Lattimore that I didn't think he's been a good corner for at least 2 years.
Right.
Tonight, that man showed up. He showed up, and why he was a former Pro Bowl player. He did a hell of a job on Godwin, and he did an extraordinary job on Evans. But they have way too many weapons. Way too many weapons.
Yep. And even out of the backfield with Fournette, when he could catch the ball, you could see him a couple of times there on the screen pass. It looked like he was going to go to the house, just fell down. You see that type of offense, and then you're like a defense. How do you defend that? If you can't defend it, if you can defend an Evans and a Godwin and even a Brown, who looked like he was a little bit injured tonight, we'll see. You still have a Miller, you still have a Johnson, you still have a Gronkowski, you still have a Brake, you have a Fournette and a Ronald Jones. Good luck. Good luck if you're a defensive coordinator, honestly.
When your third string tight end has been impactful for 2 straight weeks, that goes to show you how deep and unselfish this offense actually is.
It really is. And
Brady,
and we're on with Harry the Greek, my professional handicapper here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It also shows you that Tom Brady is willing to spread the wealth out. He's not trying to force it to anybody. He doesn't care about the statistics. You look at his numbers, 18 for 33, 199 yards. Of course, he lost 1 yard passing with the nail down there, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the turnover battle was so key tonight, Harry. 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions by Drew Brees, a key fumble by Antoine Winfield, 21 points off of those turnovers. That's game. That's it.
That's how you win football
Give
games.
some love to my boy Sean Murphy Bunting.
Thank you, because you've been, and I'll tell you right now, this guy has been singing the praises of Sean Murphy Bunting, and we had Miss Kim Bunting on this on this show before. Sean Murphy Bunting's mother. I feel like we should get her on this week to talk to her about her son's performance, because early on in the game with that 36-yard interception, and you've been saying it. People have been saying he's too aggressive. Stop being so aggressive. And you said, bring on that physicality, bring on that aggression. That's what you saw tonight, Harry, right?
Yep, absolutely. Because now you're seeing a secondary that has had a whole year to come together. And when you do have those aggressive style safeties and corners, believe me, if you're missing it, the guy behind them isn't going to miss it. And it just so happened that the pressure was getting up to him without having to blitz so much.
Yep.
And it enabled them to go ahead and get these interceptions. This defense is starting to click at the right time. Thank God it wasn't clicking in the middle part of the year. Todd Bowles has really, I'll tell you what, I got to give that man an A+. I'm not giving the offense an A+, because that's an automatic anyway. I'm giving that defense an A+ because of the turnovers, because they got their head out of their ass, pardon the expression.
That's all right.
And decided that I don't have to run such a soft zone 24/7.
And that's their defense.
Pleasure and great things to see coming out of that defense, because those corners, they're all studs. They can play man up.
Yeah, they can play man up.
Man up, and they showed it.
And they got the size, they got the physicality, and they also got the instincts. And going back to Murphy Bunting, jumping that route. And I talked about it in the pregame show with Brees throwing the ball short. There's going to be a time where these corners jump the route, and there it is, Murphy Bunting with it, going to who? His main man, Michael Thomas. And we all know about Thomas's MO, catching short passes and slants and stuff like that. Nothing deep. Murphy Bunting right on the spot.
Yeah, if you have time, look up Carlton Davis on Twitter real quick. Just look it up. He has a nice little post there for Michael Thomas calling him out as an old slant boy. It's pretty funny. You get a laugh at it, Bucs fans.
Yeah, absolutely. So what else, Harry, did you see out of this game? We're on with Harry the Greek, my professional handicapper. What else did you see from this game that you really liked from the Bucs standpoint?
You know what? I just watched a complete effort. Watching the game, as a fan is totally different than watching a game from being objective. And I'm not going to have a chance to do that again until probably Tuesday or Wednesday this week. And I'll be able to give out some of my plays. The early line for next week, just to let everybody know, is the Buccaneers are going into Lambeau Field as an underdog, and it's only 3.5 points.
Right.
I have a funny feeling that line's going to inflate a little bit to like 4 or 5.
Oh.
I don't know what the total is, but I will definitely be able to give you my ins and outs, the X's and O's later on.
Well, I think we'll probably talk to you. We'll probably definitely talk to you tomorrow. Try to get you on here throughout the week here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right, my friend?
Not a problem. Go Bucs. It was a great win. I'm very happy for everybody. I hope people were smart enough to go ahead and, and jumped off that couch and made a couple of wagers, because there's not many road teams that are underdogs that go into someone else's home turf and they go win.
Yeah.
So you get predictions like that, you got to take chances.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Good stuff there. Harry the Greek, my professional handicapper, Mr. 88%, 89%, going up by the minute, the hour here. Thanks a lot for your time on the Evolution, all right?
Cheers, guys. Go Bucs.
All right, let me go ahead and fire those cannons for him. Let me get him out of here. I'll read the comments here in a moment. Let's go out to the dude. Dude, welcome to the Evolution. What did you see from this game, my friend, after the Bucs beat the New Orleans Saints 30-20? Your thoughts?
I'm over here eating the W there, Mr. Winston. It's delicious. Now, just so we have this in perspective, Peter. It's 10:49 Eastern on a Sunday night. And what month is this? January?
It's January, yeah.
That was
It's
November.
meaningful football, yeah.
And the Buccaneers are still playing football and have another game on the schedule. Now, Green Bay, Lambeau Field, NFC Championship, forecast something 20 degrees is what we're looking at so far. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Hey, Peter, we're one game away from Super Bowl or bust.
We're one game away from Super Bowl or bust. As I said at the beginning of the year here live on Bucs Report on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, people said, I'm not sure anymore. But what was always the antithesis, if you will, Leo word, pulling it out there with this team, you had to run the ball, especially in postseason, and that's exactly what they did tonight. 35 carries for 126 yards. Fournette, the victim of volume, and a Ronald Jones. They actually ran the ball more than they passed the ball. And if you have a game plan like that and your defense is causing turnovers and giving you a short field, you're unstoppable, dude, right?
Oh, absolutely. And real quick, shout out to Drew Brees. That was obviously the last time we'll see him play professional football. So great career. Also, you too, sir, can hold this L for us. Hey, Sean Payton, I'm thinking if I were a Saints fan, which, I almost kind of threw up in my mouth saying that. If I was a Saints fan or one of the Saints faithful, I would wonder to myself, did you guys spend a little bit of time this week on your trick play just to get Jameis Winston a touchdown, just to rub it in the Bucs' face? Because you're an arrogant, well, I won't use the word. Maybe if a Saints fan looks at it like, hey, maybe you should have spent some of that time, scheming an actual play or what you're going to do if you actually get behind. Because once they got behind by 10 points, that whole offense quit. The defense went flat. The team they died on the vine right there in front of everybody. So shout out to Sean Payton for the trick play. Shout out to Sean Payton because karma is a mother. Shout out to Jameis Winston. Hey, man, you got a touchdown pass in the playoffs. That's his first of your career. Congratulations, son. Shout out again back to Drew Brees. But the big shout out goes to all the guys at Bucs Report holding it down there at the Deck Bar and Grill at Isla del Sol. And the biggest shout out of all to Advanced Auto Parts. Hey, everybody, wherever you live, doesn't mean you have to be in Tampa or Florida. There's an Advanced Auto Parts near you.
Yep.
Okay, do it yourself. Go there, get your auto parts. Tell them Bucs Report sent you, and then we can have more quality shows like this. Again, thanks to all the guys at the Deck. Thanks to all of you guys there from Bucs Report at the Deck. The Buccaneers are going to the NFC Championship game, and that's all I've got to say about that.
All right, there you go. The Dude Abides. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with our editor-in-chief, Mr. Philip Schwegler. Thanks to Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49 after the Bucs beat the New Orleans Saints 30-20 to move on to the NFC Championship game. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. Let me go ahead and keep on reading some of these comments here. Go Bucs, says Ken. Again, Landon, I'll take it all back next week. Let's go, says Connie. Looking good, fellas. Thank you very much. Michael says, I said last week that the game versus Washington football team would have been different if Devin White were able to play. I think tonight's game is proof of this. Let's go out to Walter, says, let's go. James says, way to go, Bucs. Tim, what a great game. We got another monkey off of our back. Let's go out to S. Nurse. Bulls finally had the right game plan. Daniel Fernandez. Hey, Peter Blake, now you do believe in Thomas Williams, Tom Brady's theory. Laugh out loud. I've been saying it from the very beginning. Tom Brady came here. The Bucs were going to win the Super Bowl and be the first team in NFL history to win it in their house, and they're only 2 games away from doing it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Brady made all the difference. He knows how to win. Me, Sador. Mike Edwards. Jay says Brady is good. No, he's the greatest of all time.
You got to give a lot of credit to defense though, because the offense started out bad. Because this is like the third comment we've seen. Yeah, Tom Brady played great and everything, got the offense going, but the defense really,
in the fourth quarter. I mean, when you need a guy, it's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Yeah,
and I believe I saw it
all the way down.
Right, it's like 166 yards of passing in the fourth quarter by Tom Brady. I mean.
And you got that run game established. Look at that.
That's it. Congratulations, says Brian Pearson. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. Defense was great. Devin White really made the difference. Anwar says, fire those cannons for Bucs Nation, Peter, as I will. Ethan says yes. Revenge, says Travis. Let's go out to Tim. Where's the Brady is washed up crew now? I wonder what Max Kellerman is going to be saying tomorrow. I wonder what Skip Shannon Sharp is going to be saying tomorrow about Tom Brady and this Bucs offense. Because look, at the end of the day, Mike Evans didn't necessarily have the best game. Chris Godwin didn't have the best game. Antonio Brown didn't have the best game. But this offense figured out a way to win the game. They did it with the running game. They did it with taking care of the ball, and they did it the old-fashioned way, the Bucs way, defense.
Right. Yeah, I really enjoyed Cameron Brate having a really nice game again in the playoffs. You know, he's becoming that security blanket, I guess, if you will. Kind of how Jameis Winston saw him, over the past 5 years here in Tampa. But Tom Brady's starting to get that real connection with Cameron Brate.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's read more comments here. Cornell says, told you all about the defense in the second half. Austin says, see, I want to see all those Saints fans give us crap now. I'll give Brian credit. Brian Pearson was one of those guys. He just said congratulations. So there you go. Brady for MVP. How much longer do you have to keep saying this until it gets recognition? Landon says defense showed up. Jeffrey says, let's go. Howard says, bring on the cheeseheads. Gary says, great game. Bucs stay the course. Tyrus, Tank Crawford, think 13. Tyler Johnson's catch was a big play of the game also. I mean, talk about it. I believe it's 3rd and 11, and Brady leads them to the side there. But the ball is only going to be caught by Tyler Johnson. That's Brady. Puts it. But him just reaching back for just an amazing catch, a big-time third down conversion for Mr. Johnson from Minnesota.
Yeah, and he's kind of getting overshadowed a little bit this season, especially with Gronkowski being here, with Antonio Brown coming late in the season. But I think the Buccaneers picked him up for a reason in the draft. He's going to be a good receiver as soon as he gets to see the field a little bit more. But like I keep saying, every time he makes those big-time throws, those are big man catches.
And then Scotty Miller with the 29-yard pass. You see that route. I don't know who was faked out. Was that Chauncey Gardner?
No, it was Jenkins.
Malcolm Jenkins. Not too good there. Not too good.
And that's a great dynamic for this team. I'm telling you, when Mike Evans doesn't work, Chris Godwin's working. Hey, throw somebody out who's fast. You got two guys, and they got
the running backs, not only rushing effort, but Fournette with catches tonight, doing the right thing. They had a couple drops here, but Fournette, when he needed to catch a pass, he caught a touchdown to break even there, 20-20. And then the Bucs go down, score field goals, 23-20. And then, of course, Devin White with a big-time interception. And basically at that point, with the short field, you feel like that offense has the if you will. Our professional handicapper says Harry the Greek, and they go down, and Brady with the 1-yard plunge. Like the way he started off the season in New Orleans. So
that's a great thing about this offense. They're really good in the red zone. And they put up a little extra field goals tonight, but
7th in red zone percentage coming into this game. And of course, we talked about that matchup. The Saints 29th in red zone percentage. Although give them credit, they did a good job of holding the Bucs to field goals, but not
they literally held the Bucs in the end zone.
Yep. Second half, Fournette and Brady score. So there you go. All right, let's go out to Daniel here. Let's see. Winfield saved the Bucs season. Absolutely. Trevor says it's a long shot, but I tweeted, emailed, and called Brady's agent, left a message. My brother died Friday. He was a diehard Bucs fan. I want to ask Tom Brady to win the Super Bowl for my brother, Trevor. We appreciate that. Sorry about your brother. Prayers to you and your family. There you go. Fire those cannons, my friend. Let's see. Here go. Buck says Hurricane. Constance says Edwards was clutch.
Every time that man gets in the game, does he not make a clutch play?
He does.
Every single time.
And one of my co-hosts always talks about it from a galaxy far, far away. And Sean, the sports don, says we need to get Edwards in the game more because he's a ball hawk. He's a player. And, of course, if anybody was going to make up for a mistake, and that this was in the first game where he had the special teams blunder, it had to be Edwards. You have to be happy for that young man. You really do. So, Michael Thomas, no catches in the game. Did he have no catches in this game?
I think he did, to be honest with you.
All right, we'll get some more stats here. Let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Mr. Philip Schwegler, our editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pete, man, it's Ron.
Ron, what's going on, buddy? How do you feel about that Bucs big victory over the New Orleans Saints 30-20? What do you have to say, my friend?
You got to program my number, brother.
Well, no, this is a different number, I think, my friend. So
calling through, brother.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, Pete.
Yeah, I know. I got
man, you know, I'm just joshing you, brother.
Absolutely.
The chef, Philip Schwegler. How you doing? How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing great, brother. Great.
I know we're both brothers in arms, brother, man. I know we had what we have in common is we both enlisted in the military. I think the only difference, I had 2 enlistments, man. One in the Marine Corps and then one in the Army. But,
hoorah, Devil Dog.
Service, man.
That's fun stuff, switching from Marines to Army, dog. I gotta give you a shout out for that.
What now, Ron?
No, I was just saying I was a Devil Dog, and then I crossed over to be an adult-based soldier. 3rd Brigade on Fort Benning, Georgia. So
okay,
nice.
Had a lot of fun, man.
Very cool. So how do you feel about this win tonight, Ron?
And I'm ecstatic, man. I'm excited. Great win, great collaborative team win for sure. I think it was looking bleak a little bit there early. You know, I wanted to see us come out quicker and put more points up and score in the red zone. You know, get 6 in the red zone rather than 3. But hey, man, this team poured it on. They got it done defensively, especially when they needed to get it done. The offense did what they had to, and you know, we took control of the game. I think, you know, when you really had to, and it meant the most. And hey, man, you know, we don't need to say it again, you know what I mean? But it's been a while. So we're definitely all happy. We're all definitely ecstatic, and we're probably all right now still trying to soak all this in.
That's it. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, and you feel like once you take that lead, and once again, Ryan suck up 3 field goals tonight. That's big. Right straight down the middle. When you take that lead, you feel good about your defense, although there's always the possibility of Drew Brees in this offense coming back to haunt you. But Bucs defense makes a big-time play, and it comes down to Devin White undercutting a route, getting an interception. And after that, you feel good about your chances of winning this game. And it goes back to the defense getting enough pressure, maybe not sacking Brees enough, but getting enough pressure, and then your corners playing so big and so physical versus those wide receivers. Big time injury we didn't get a chance to talk about, but he was special in that first half. That's Deontay Harris going out with a neck injury, and it seemed like, they didn't have that guy that could really split that defense up. Him going out of the game, of course, he had the punt return called back because that could have been a big-time play for them. But once he went out of the game, but still at the end of the day, you still have Michael Thomas, you have Emmanuel Sanders. No big plays besides the Jameis Winston pass, so you have to feel pretty good going into that Green Bay matchup versus Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. It's going to be real interesting next Sunday at 3 o'clock.
Absolutely. And, another thing, tip your hat off, not just to suck up. He's been money all year. Right?
Yep.
Yep. You just got to really tip your hat to the guy. And, how about Murphy Bunting? He just played. It was critical, coming into this game. I think we were looking for him to kind of elevate himself just a little. And I think he did that even more. And I think it was not only that, Pete, but I'm sure we could all notice it. But, he was right up in those Saints,
right up in their grill. Let's put it out there. Right up in their grill, being physical. Right. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, man. Right up in their grill, returning that intensity, saying, hey, man, I'm not going to let you push me around this game. I'm going to be there. You're going to know I'm around. And that's basically what he did, man.
Yep.
Like I said, Murphy Bunting played a great game. I think the only play that I think we kind of blew coverage, we didn't have any safety help with that end around. Somehow the linebackers pulled the other direction, and we didn't respond quick enough to seeing that they were coming around on that end around to get any safety help. But hey, like I said, that didn't get the best of us by far, and that was earlier on. This team really showed resilience and collaboratively won this football game, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah, no, I'm proud too. I'm absolutely proud of this team. And look, they went through adverse situations all year long, like a lot of NFL teams, but having a quarterback come in there with all the experience and everything like that, learning a new offense, not having all those reps, losing to a team twice, all the talk about the Saints having the Bucs number, they had something to prove. And the defense, which was absolutely killed by this Bucs fan base, and even the national media saying, we're not sure if the Bucs really have a defense. I think now the national media should probably turn on the tape and look at what this defense did tonight to this potent Saints offense. They really shut them down.
Absolutely. And I think that there's been more bright points than bad points for this defense all year, and they've held their own, and Bowles has done a pretty good job considering, things are on the up for sure. And also, just last week, we saw that was another prideful feeling to see Donovan Smith and our offensive line, just pretty much manhandle Chase Young. And that defensive line didn't really get any big plays on us that hurt us. And I was very proud of them there, too. They really showed a lot. And, this team has just been, I think, pouring it on and kind of getting better as the weeks go. I think we've been seeing remnants of that. Hey, we're playing for the big one. We're playing for the big dance next week. It's not going to be easy. We're going into a tough place to win it. I hope that our guys, I hope the weather's not going to be too much of a element for them.
Well, you got a big game quarterback who's played in the weather in New England. So unless it's windy situation, which I don't know what the forecast is, maybe we'll get Dennis Phillips of ABC Action News to come on this broadcast and give us the weather forecast. But unless the wind is swirling around, I feel still good about this offense and what they can do, especially when it comes to running the ball, which is what they did tonight versus the Saints defense. And then on top of it, Bucs having confidence right now, not only defensively, but offensively, and believing in Tom Brady. This is truly the Tom Brady effect on this team.
Absolutely, 100%, Pete. My hat's go off just to several plays that the defense made. But also, I'd like to first just say, tip my hat off to just what a wonderful career, impressive career for a quarterback like Drew Brees.
Agree.
This might be his final straw.
Well, this is his final game. He was waving goodbye and kissing goodbye. This is it. I think this is it. And you look at his statistics, 19 for 34, 134 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. And again, not the best game for him. Give credit to where credit is due. That Buccaneer defense, especially the back end and the linebackers, gave him fits all night long. They hit these receivers on the spot. They didn't let them get those extra yak yards, and that's huge because we saw it a couple times tonight where a Saints player breaks a tackle, gets the yard that he needs, and you convert that third down. Overall, and go ahead and get me this stat, Phil. What was the third down conversion percentage for the Saints on offense tonight? We'll get back to that. Ron, I'll go ahead and let you go here. Let me go ahead and fire these cannons for you, my friend. Appreciate you as always. Thanks a lot for calling the Evolution, all right?
Thanks, guys. Hey, look forward to seeing you next week. Hopefully you're there, Phil. Phil, I look forward to meeting you, man.
Hey, you too, man. You too. Appreciate your service. Thank you.
Hey, man, maybe you can give me some advice on how to cook up this honky that I got this afternoon.
I'll tell you right now, man. He's one of the best chefs out there. One of the best chefs I know. So
hit me up on Twitter, man, at Phil Schwag _BR.
Also hit him up on Facebook too. So, all right, man. Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you there. Let me go ahead and go back out to the webheads here. Want to read these comments?
Got that stat for you.
Yes, go ahead.
They're actually over 50%. They're 6 for 11 on third down.
So 6 for 11. They did convert some third downs tonight.
But the Buccaneers were 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions.
Yep, there you go. 1 for 1, and that was early in the game there. A big time chance that was taken, and they believed they got it, and they got the first down. They went for it. So there you go. Michael Thomas, no catches in the game. You're exactly right. 4 targets, no catches. So hats off to this Bucs defense, namely a Carlton Davis, who I think you got to put into that elite category. Do you not?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he had a couple bad games, but I mean, he was 5th in the league in interceptions or tied something for that this year. And that's most pass defense in the last 2 seasons in the NFL. I mean, he's a pretty good corner.
NFC Championship, let's go, says Tim. Andre says, greetings from Mexico. There you go. Kerry says, Murphy Bunting played a fantastic game. Travis L. Brady brought me to the Bucs. Good stuff. Rob says, don't it feel good? Don't it feel so good, Bucs Nation? Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and fire those. Rob. Chris says, amazing catch by Tyler Johnson. We talked about that. Dwight says, D were the stars, but man, the interior line needs some love too. I think that's offensive line he's saying. Absolutely, offensive line. What were your thoughts on that offensive line tonight? We talked about the matchup, 13.5 sacks for a Tyler Hendrickson, of course, coming off a neck injury. This line had so many problems in the 2 matchups here. This line really kept Brady clean tonight.
Yeah, I think they've been doing a great job for the past the 6 weeks now. The Buccaneers are on a 6-game win streak.
And lo and behold, that's the reason why they continue to win, right?
Exactly. You got to take care of the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's every single football team. That's how you win games. That's the recipe right there.
And by the way, they started off this. They the end of the season 6-2 on the road. They've now won 2 straight home games, so that makes them what, 8-2?
8-2, yeah.
You got to win another game and you go home. How fitting is that? 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. 2020, 2021, unbelievable here on the Sports Web. Brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts. For all your auto parts needs, it's Advanced Auto Parts. Tell them Bucs Report and the Sports Web sent you. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Philip Schwegler, my editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. Let's go ahead and go out to Landon. What's the call-in hotline? 727-255-0391. So glad to see the D play tight man coverage now. They have to continue that against the Packers and keep running the ball. Susan says, if you all had Instagram, check out D White. He's live. We did check that out. Blake had that on earlier. Deshaun says, told you, man, Edwards needs to be on the damn field. Dwight says, O-line. I know what you meant. Deshaun says, White, 11 tackles, pick, fumble, recovery. What a game.
No Pro Bowl.
And by the way, no Pro Bowl? Really? 140 tackles, 9 sacks, and no Pro Bowl? Go ahead, Pro Bowl. You go ahead and have those players at the Pro Bowl. Devin White will worry about going to the Super Bowl. How about that? How about that, guys? All right, so there you go. Oh, yeah, I believe, of course, no Pro Bowl this year. I guess they're playing video games, which they should do that anyway. The game is completely useless and worthless. O-line played lights out. Sandra Nagel, my agent, my mother there. I knew they would win. Came from my dear in heaven, Randy, before he left us. Best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web with Bucs Report. Way to go, Bucs. And if I turn back time, we would be here. So God bless Randy, my stepfather, passing away just a couple weeks ago, right before Christmas. Mom, thanks a lot for hanging in there and always the love and support that you provide here for the Evolution. I appreciate you. How about Devin White? Devin White? Sebastian says, finally committed to the run, and look how it worked out. Opens up the passing game. Taylor Allen says, in Brady, we trust. There you go. Deshaun Jones showed great burst. He did. Misador. Hey, Tampa Bay. Absolutely. Misador says, Tampa Bay. We were screaming that all night long. I think that's why the voice is here. I mean, it was an unbelievable night. Super Bowl, babe. Up the gut, Mike Alstott. Weston Owens, great job tonight. Bucs, fire those cannons. We shall. Great accomplishment tonight. Let's get ready for the NFC Championship game. We will be live. And I tell you what, we usually go about 1 o'clock. We may go 12:30, who knows, but we'll be live. I believe in about 1 o'clock. Get you ready for the game, which starts at 3:05, your NFC Championship game. Of course, the AFC Championship game was decided today. Patrick Mahomes out in concussion protocol, out of the game. Chad Henne with an unbelievable conversion to Tyreek Hill. So it's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills for the right to play at Super Bowl 55 in Raymond James Stadium. Unbelievable.
Crazy season, man. COVID-19. Buccaneers
don't
and
even
NFC
have
Championship.
a football season this year. I mean, when the pandemic starts, we're doing all these shows. We're excited, but there is some caution because you don't know if you're going to have a season or not. You had your postponements where they put off some games, but there was never a cancellation with everything that's going on. Hats off to the NFL and pulling this off, but it's been an amazing run here so far, and it's not over. Seminole Buccaneer says NFC Championship game, let's go.
I want to point out real quick, I want to shout out to the Tampa Bay area sports, all the teams in Tampa Bay, the Rowdies, the Lightning, the Rays, now the Bucs, everybody.
Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning.
World
I have the
Series
Rays going to
appearance.
the World Series.
Rowdies won their
You don't
conference.
take out Blake Snell. Who knows, Kevin Cash? Maybe you'll win the World Series.
This might be the City of Champions this season. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Rays maybe won't be the City of Champions, but it definitely is going to be the Bucs. And it was the Tampa Bay Lightning. So a great year here for Tampa Bay sports fans. And I'm glad to be a part of this.
Yeah,
I mean, this is what you do. We talk about all the time. This is the reason why you get Tom Brady in the first place, so you can win big games like this. And he definitely won this game. But the story was the defense.
Yeah.
Lights out.
That's why you
Again,
draft
4
aggressive
turnovers.
quarters.
That's it.
I'm telling you.
Really, a lot of people are saying, why you draft all these corners? And look, they've had their moments this year where it didn't look great. It was kind of embarrassing, especially with the Carlton Davis, playing one-on-one. But that's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Ask the Cleveland Browns today about Tyreek Hill and how it is to shadow him. You can't.
No,
it's tough. So
it's got to lick your wounds and get up.
that's it. Let's see here. Misador says Devin White took over the game. Guys are cursing. I love it. I can't do it. How about Devin White? What a game. 11 tackles. Art says, woo! Everyone who counted us out. Absolutely. Author says, go Bucs from Ohio. One more. We got this. Let me go ahead and fire the cannons right there. Misador says, so serious question. Do we sign McCoy? Gerald McCoy?
Gerald McCoy?
Why?
I don't know.
Why are we talking about Gerald McCoy at this point? Why are we talking about that? I don't understand that. So
And they got Vita Vea coming back next season. Thank you. And you have
thank you very much.
Ronan,
I appreciate it.
Nacho in there. We'll see. I ain't worried about the offseason.
I think they're good with McClendon.
Off-season is so far away right now.
I may have missed some comments, so hopefully I didn't. But let's go back out to him. Devin White showed major improvement in coverage tonight that he did.
So Levante David
they don't got a defense like either team. We've done played in the past. If our defense shows up, it's a wrap. Let's go Tampa. Russ says, bring your passion, Bucs fans. Absolutely. Jimmy says Devin White was the best defensive player today by far. J-Dog. I've been saying it for months. Tampa Bay versus the Bills in the Super Bowl, which would be
and that would be awesome. My very good friend, we were in the Army, Captain Everett. He's a big Bills fan.
And of course, one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. I remember it fondly because my dad grew up as a Buffalo Bills fan with O.J. Simpson and the Electric Company.
Yeah.
Had Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, James Lofton against the New York Football Giants. Without Phil Simms, you have Jeff Hostetler. It comes down to a Scott Norwood field goal, and that game was at the original the Big Sombrero in Tampa Stadium. So great game there. It would be interesting if the Bills got back, and we'll see what the injury status is on a Patrick Mahomes today. Concussion protocol, more than likely he misses that game, possibly, right?
They're gonna clear. I mean, come on, unless there's something like severely wrong with him and he's got cross eyes and he can't do anything. I mean, come on.
I don't know what you just said.
I just point out, if they're gonna play it like the refs played the Bucs today.
Ross eyes, what is he, the Water Boy's father? Oh, that's great. All right, let's go on to Jimmy here. Devin White just tweeted live by 40, die by 45. What? Laugh my ass off. That's my team, says Richard. Let's go out to Modern Warfare God. I love seeing crybaby Saints fans. They've been very quiet tonight. In fact, This is dedicated to all the Saints fans that were eating a W at Raymond James Stadium after that Sunday night victory. Yeah, I don't hear any Saints fans at this point. So, yes, absolutely. 34-28 Bucs over the Packers. Let's say here, RI Cardboard Sports. I remember when Light drafted White, and I thought, good pick, but a slight reach, and now I think he's a top 5 inside linebacker. Yeah. I think he's the best inside linebacker. That's, and people will say Levante David could be the best inside linebacker on this team, but clearly tonight, White is showing you why they drafted him 5th overall. And I go back to Christian McCaffrey early on in the season saying Devin White is the best right now, and he certainly played like it tonight. He really did.
Took him off that COVID list, took that leash off him. He ran wild. I'm telling you right now.
Let's go out to David here. D has to play lights out, pressure Rodgers, get after him. Bucs play action going to kill that team. Double move with Miller for a long touchdown guaranteed. Tell you right now, that route by Scotty Miller tonight, and perfect pass. And again, Brady wasn't on the money when it came down to over 20 yards of passing, but that was a perfectly placed pass for 29 yards.
How you got to throw it to Scotty Miller. You got to throw it in his breadbasket.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's see here. Read more comments. My Packers are going to destroy the Buccaneers next week. Well, didn't necessarily happen in the first matchup, sir. So, Buccaneers take the L next week. Jimmy says, yeah, he did. Jimmy says again, I'm calling it now, Tampa Bay versus Buffalo in the Super Bowl. Jimmy J. Hicks, I seen Brees talking to Winston. Looks like he was telling him he's the next man up after he retires. Of course,
I was saying the same thing.
The big time story, no Taysom Hill, which is big because of what they do with bringing him in, and no Latavius Murray. And they brought in Ty Montgomery, and look, to the Saints' credit, they ran the ball well. They ran for over 100 yards. Of course, Kamara didn't have over 100 yards.
86,
81 yards, I think, or
86?
86? 86, okay, 86 yards. So the Bucs defense gave up 100, but predominantly they shut it down when they needed to, and that's why you had those conversions of 39, 3rd and 10. And, of course, the Saints kind of shooting themselves in the foot with a penalty situation. A couple times they thought they were going to draw the Bucs offside,
and they
drew themselves offside because the Bucs didn't go over the line of scrimmage, but the Saints player moved. So that was interesting.
I want to address that injury thing real quick.
Sure.
This is the NFL. It's all about who has the strongest team, what team can go the furthest distance. Okay?
Right.
And that includes injuries. So there's no the Saints were missing this and that. Clearly the Buccaneers can stay healthier, and that's a part of a play here in the playoffs, especially late in the season.
And right, if you're a Saints fan, do you feel good about having a Taysom Hill? Of course. Do you feel better about having Latavius Murray? Of course, because you rushed for over 100 yards in the second matchup at Raymond James Stadium. That was a big part of their game plan. But you have a Ty Montgomery. He still played in the league. Give credit to where credit is due. This Bucs defense all year long has been able to stifle teams, make adjustments, and they made the necessary adjustments tonight, especially in that back end. There's just you can't say enough about it. It's beautiful football technique-wise. Todd Bowles has got to be just absolutely thrilled with the way his young defense, especially those corners, stepped up tonight.
Started tackling way better in the second half. Started tackling way better. Devin White, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go back and watch this film again. I'll count up how many times Devin White smacked somebody in the face.
Oh, yeah. And that's a big-time key. And you saw the hit on Deontay Harris, which put him out of the game.
Yeah.
All right, let's go out to Joshua Cole Allen. Joshua Cole Allen, welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Mr. Philip Schwagler, our editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. What do you have to say, my friend?
Woo! We did it, man. We have 2 games left, 1 more win here in the Super Bowl. Hell of a game plan executed. I thought that's exactly what they needed to do. Bend, don't break. Keep them, Brees can't throw the deep ball anyways. Keep them in front of you. Make them dink and dunk down the field and then hold them to field goals. And that's what they did for the most part.
Yeah.
They were so bad they had to bring in Jameis Winston to throw a trick play, a deep ball, to get their offense going in the beginning of the game.
Well, to their credit, it goes back to what Harry the Greek said. They kind of took a page out of Matt Nagy's playbook last week, and it would have worked also for the Bears if the guy catches the pass. But Traquan Smith is open for the 56-yard touchdown, a perfectly placed pass by Jameis Winston. Credit to where credit is due. They definitely caught the Bucs in their pants down with the coverage breakdown. But besides that, Joshua, you really didn't see a lot of big plays given up by this back end of the defense.
No, they really held their own against one of the most prolific offenses in the league. Carlton Davis, you can't say enough about him and his job, paired with Jamel Dean on Michael Thomas. 3 games this season, I think they let up 7 catches for under 70 yards. They've really held him in check, and then everything else kind of flows from there.
Yeah.
The run defense showed up as they have been all year, and they tried to make you beat them with Jared Cook and Emmanuel Sanders, and they ate a little bit, but not enough. And Jared Cook obviously had that big strip, but my man Antoine Winfield Jr. So.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big play, and that probably saves your season because it looks like the Saints are going to go down and score, and basically you're up by 2 scores, and then at that point, you get that fumble recovery from Devin White because of a punch by Winfield. The Bucs go down. They score a touchdown with Leonard Fournette tying up the game, and then, after that, they get a field goal, and then once again, they cause another turnover when the Saints get back the ball again. And it's big. It's big time moments, critical moments, and this defense showed up tonight. It was huge.
I'm gonna add something real quick, Josh, before you get back on. Sorry to cut you off. Drew Brees averaged 3.9 yards a throw tonight.
3.9 yards a throw.
And I'm gonna read you these averages for the wide receivers outside the 28-yard pass that Jameis Winston threw or whatever it was. 8.0, 5.6, 6.7, 13.0, 0, 0, 0, -1, -3. That's the averages for this receiving core on the New Orleans side tonight.
Yep.
Tell me the defense didn't show up.
Yep.
Or was it Drew Brees? I mean, either way you look at it, the defense did something to stop it.
Yeah. I mean, Sean.
Yeah. Definitely, Drew Brees' inability to throw the ball down the field deep definitely hurt this offense. But you're looking at a formula that should be replicated against the Green Bay Packers. Stifle the run with that 3-headed attack with Williams, Dillon, and Jones, and then have Carlton Davis hopefully can match up like he did earlier in the season with Devontae Adams.
Yep.
And the same thing, make Aaron Rodgers beat you with everybody else, with the Tawny, with the Lazard, which he just did against the Rams. I think the Rams had a pretty good game plan. They just couldn't execute it due to maybe Aaron Donald's health or just miscommunications at time. Especially with that Jalen Ramsey with the Devontae Adams touchdown last night.
It looked like the same play that happened with Tyreek Hill on the big time 3rd down. Was it a 3rd down or 4th down conversion in that Chiefs game? I think it was a 4th down. 4th down conversion. It looked like the same play. It looked like a miscommunication. Yeah. I don't know how in the world Tyreek Hill is open on that. I don't know how the wide receiver for Green Bay is open on that. Besides
94-bit, that's why.
That's it.
Exactly. So I think they have a better defense than the Packers, and the fact that they came in and they single-handedly kind of shut the Packers down to the point where they pulled Aaron Rodgers down by I think 17 with a whole half a quarter to go. So this Buccaneers team's going in confident that they can match up against this team. While the team has evolved throughout the season, so is the Bucs team. It's not the same team on either side, but you have that experience against them, knowing that you beat them can only give this team confidence. And not that they need any. I think they're on cloud 9 right there with their confidence after winning 6 in a row. But the Brady effect, full in effect, bye week, late year football, and Bucs are steamrolling right now. Yeah,
they're definitely steamrolling. Again, not the best game from Tom Brady, but once again, 18 for 33, 2 touchdowns. And in that 4th quarter really showed out. I mean, what do you say about this guy? You've been watching him his whole career. Just gets it done, and all his top receivers don't necessarily have to have big games in order for this offense to move the ball because you believe that Brady is going to make the right decision at the right time. Talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, that and just the effect he has on the team on both sides of the ball. Devin White spoke briefly about it after the game. Having Tom, you always feel like you're in the ball game, no matter the deficit. The leadership he brings, the experience he brings, the lessons that he brings, the words of wisdom he brings, and just his play alone. He elevates in the playoffs. You see that. He might not have had the best of games today, but, he's got to hand the ball off. He's got to call the offense. He's got to make the switches into runs. And it goes hand in hand because when he comes off the sideline, Byron's saying, what are you seeing here? What are you seeing there?
Yep.
What do their fronts look like for runs and everything like that? And that's exactly what you want to do with a 43-year-old quarterback. Have 120 yards between your two top rushers and let him make plays in the passing game when he needs to.
Yep.
I thought there was a few questionable calls going for it deep on 3rd and 1. But for the most part, the game plan on both sides of the ball was, I thought, pretty well executed and pretty well devised by both of the coordinators.
Speaking about the game plan, Josh, what did you think about running the ball more than you passed the ball tonight? 35 carries, 126 yards compared to 33 passing. I mean, that is your bread and butter, especially that's winning football. That's a combination of winning football in the postseason, right?
Yeah, running the ball, solid defense. I mean, if you can do both of those, especially it's good to get those gears going for your running backs this late. The fact that, you barely used Leonard Fournette, had less than 100 carries when he's had over 200 carries the last, few years of his career. He's got the fresh legs. You're getting Rojo back, who might be a little banged up, but Rojo said, Fournette told Rojo, F your injury, we need you out there. So that was a light moment to see. But yeah, running the football, which they're doing well, and they're going to need going into a cold weather situation in Green Bay, whether it snows or whether it doesn't. Tom Brady might be able to make the throws, but he definitely doesn't have the strongest arm as Aaron Rodgers, who will be able to move the ball through the snow at will. If they can get the running game going, play solid defense again, duplicate their game plan on Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, I think that this Buccaneers team has a really good shot to win. I know people want to crown the Packers because it's at home, because it's cold, because Aaron Rodgers, MVP, they're the number one seed. But I think that, and from as well, that in the playoffs, regular season doesn't matter, and what's happening in the playoffs. And this Bucs team is really rolling right now, so I think they're going to go in there.
And one with Joshua Cole. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
I said they're going to get the win pretty easily. I think it'll be a close game, not a blowout, but I think they'll be in control most of that game.
All right, good stuff, Joshua Cole. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you, my friend. Get some rest, my friend. We'll definitely see you next week, all right?
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right, there you go. Joshua Cole Allen, one of the great writers here on Bucs Report. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Philip Schwegler, our editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. Of course, this show brought to you by Advanced Auto Parts here live at the Deck Bar and Grill. Let's keep on reading some comments here. Winston, how does that L taste? Russ says 49-17, Bucs over Buffalo. Misador, not sure if y'all heard me, but yes, I did hear you. Mike Edwards, the best game of the weekend by far. Milo says, I noticed that too. Eric says, we're not here without Brady, but fun fact, Jameis had the highest playoff quarterback percentage of all time. Let me go ahead. Myra says, a Bucs fan here because of Brady. Richard says, defense was fantastic. Eric Scott says, Brees told Jameis, this team is yours now. Sean says, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships.
That's the Tampa Bay way.
That's it. Shut the Saints out of the playoff, Peter. Fire them cannons, baby, as I shout. And I did say 31-27. So
I was closer, but it's cool.
What was your score?
27-21.
Very good.
No.
27.
I've been talking to Harry.
I'm telling you. I mean, everybody, Harry the Greek, professional handicapper, is improving all of our lives.
A little bit, yeah.
One bet at a time.
If I had money, I'd actually maybe get some more money.
Well, there you go. Let's see. Mike B says the defense played great, but the Bucs are great because of Brady's leadership. The Bucs have really cut down on mistakes, and that is Brady. It is, absolutely. Skip. The defense carried old Tom. I can hear it now, but it doesn't matter. Tom took care of the football and made critical throws. We talked about Tyler Johnson. It's a perfect pass, an even better catch, but nobody else is going to have an opportunity to get that. And then the pass over 20 yards, 29 yards to Scotty Miller is such a huge play that it's Tom Brady-esque. That's why you get him in the first place.
And we'll have to go back and look at those two possible interceptions there. I don't know what was going on there in the game in the moment, but yeah, for the most part in that fourth quarter, when you really needed the offense to do something, you really needed Tom Brady to step up and run the show. Him and Devin White took care of it on respective sides of the ball.
All right, so let's go back out to the phone lines here. I got to take this call. Mr. Sean, the Sports Don, my former co-host of the Sports Web from a radio station in a galaxy far, far away. Welcome to the Evolution. Yours truly, along with Mr. Philip Schwegler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. What do you have to say, my friend? How are you feeling tonight?
Well, you already know ain't nobody dope as me. I'm so fresh and so clean.
You know what? You singing that right now is not so hard on my ears after this Bucs big-time victory over the New Orleans Saints to face the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. And I got to say this. This guy off the air and even during the radio show days in Clearwater was saying these corners are going to be something special, man. I tell you right now, these corners were something special. Carlton Davis, holding Michael Thomas to basically 0 catches tonight. You have Sean Murphy-Bunting playing aggressive, getting that interception to go 36 yards to set the Bucs up for their first touchdown with Mike Evans. And you have Jamel Dean making some plays. Mike Edwards, your guy, getting an interception to seal the deal. Talk about this back end, Sean, the Sports Don.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm gonna start with Sean Murphy-Bunting because I know he took more brunt of the fans' ire this year.
Yes, he did.
And I was. Remember when he was drafted? You were the first person I texted. I'm like, I really like that take.
Mm-hmm.
I really, because that guy is a playmaker. He's used to making plays. What he did in college. Now, obviously, he didn't have a great year this year, but what you saw today, when we're down 6-3, he's in Michael Thomas' pocket, and he makes that play. His confidence is in lack. He just got, but also we got to do a better job as coaching because today was the type of game we're in. There's no need to play zone. You know why? Because Drew Brees is not going down the field.
No,
so we can sit on every route.
Correct.
We can just jam them, and those guys can be aggressive. And you saw it today. I mean, and when you're like that. I mean, those guys now, they're not lulled to sleep and they can go make some plays. Now, I will say this, and obviously, thank you for giving me hats off to Mike Edwards because I've told you that guy seems like he's always around the ball. And again, he made one of the bigger plays because he just clinched it. But here's the thing I will say, too. Next week, I know a lot of fans are going to want to see the same type of defense, but we're playing a different quarterback now. Because now this quarterback that we're going to be playing against, he does go down the field. He attacks every portion of it. So if you do blitz and you're man-to-man, if you don't have your keys and you don't have your fundamentals in play, he can make Sean Murphy-Bunting or Jamel Dean or even Carlton Davis, who's by far our best cornerback, look elementary. So we're going to have to figure out a way to confuse him because I think I want to say around about the middle of the second quarter, there was nothing but press coverage for the rest of the game, and I don't think you can do that against Aaron Rodgers. You may be in for a long day.
Well,
and we definitely got to shore up that run game.
Well, I tell you right now, you definitely have to play better against the run, but give credit to where credit is due. This Bucs defense against the run, they made adjustments. They shut down the Saints there. And then on top of you're talking about press coverage, this Bucs team has already faced the Green Bay Packers and had their way. In fact, it was one of the worst Aaron Rodgers played games in his whole career with Jamel Dean getting the honors of going to the house there. I believe he also had Mike Edwards with an interception in that game, if I'm not correct. So it was a bad game for Aaron Rodgers.
He got to the 2-yard line. But again, though, I will caution this. That was week 5. You know what I mean? So this guy is totally different now. Or that offense, they're together. They got more confidence now. And then also you got Devontae Adams, who's coming off an injury. So he's more healthy now. So it's a whole different dynamic, just like it was today. If you were a Saints fan and you thought what you saw in week 8 when we played the Saints, that you're going to have that same type of game against the Bucs, you would be fooling yourself. So next week, the Bucs got to understand. And that team also, they got a bad taste in their mouth. They know they lost 38-10 to us. Just like the Bucs knew they lost 39-3.
38-3, yes. 39,
so they know that. So those guys are going to come out. They're at home. It's going to be 20 degrees or less. So the Bucs going to have to play the better games they played today. Next week. It don't necessarily mean you having 4 turnovers, but you're going to have to be a little bit more disciplined. You're going to have to be able to run the ball and run it consistently. And I'm glad the Bucs did run the ball today, and they ran it consistently with both Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette.
Say it, the victim of volume. Say it.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, man, because here's the thing now. We're one game away from creating history.
Yes. Well,
so they're not going to allow us to create history. Do you think Aaron Rodgers wants to lose at home in Green Bay? No. Do you think the Bucs don't want to be in Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl?
Sure they do.
Listen, if you're trying to do that, it has to be all hands on deck, and that's what it was today, man. Tom Brady didn't have a great game today. Outside of the turnovers, when we got the short fields, we only put up 9 points. So therefore, we played complimentary football. That's what was needed to win today. Next week, it's going to have to be the same thing. We can't miss kicks, and we got to make sure we cash in on our opportunities when they present themselves.
Absolutely. Your defensive guy. What did you think of Devin White's performance tonight? 11 tackles, a fumble recovery, an interception, big in the game to give the Bucs the momentum and basically put it out of sight and give the ball back to the Bucs offense on a short field. Talk about Mr. White's performance tonight for this defense.
I mean, he was all over the field. Even before he picked up the fumble, even before he got that interception, you just saw that he was in every play. And every time he tackled somebody, he got up in their face to let them know, I'm here. I'm going to be here all day.
Yep.
And that's what you needed. And I think the defense fed off that. And then obviously I was happy to see, again, Mr. Winfield punch that ball out, White pick it up and get a nice return from it. But you got to understand, too, that interception he got, we were only up by 3 points with maybe like 8 minutes or so to go in the game. To pick that off and then to get that nice return and then to give us the opportunity to score a touchdown, that was the deal sealer right there. Yeah. That guy was all over. You can tell he hates missing that game last week, and today he played as if, you know, he was a bull in a china shop, and he was gonna hit everything that moved. And if you move, I'm gonna hit you again. And so I love that about Devin White. I think we need that. All I'm gonna tell you this right now: if the Bucs play like that next week, we could find ourselves, guys, in the Super Bowl in Tampa, and no team has ever done that. And win or lose in the Super Bowl, just to do that, that'll be monumental. Can you imagine a lead up for the 2 weeks going into the Super Bowl?
I can. You know why? Because I said it at the beginning of the year. That's why I can imagine it. We're on with Sean, the sports Dom, the biggest mouth here in Tampa Bay, along with one of the.
Let me say something. I wasn't surprised you said that because I remember you would say the Bucs is going to win the Super Bowl every year.
Oh, P.S. You know what? This is what I got for you right there. That's what I got for you, Sean, the sports Dom, my former co-host of the Sports Web from a radio station in a galaxy far, far away. Let's talk about, Tom Brady. Not necessarily, again, 18 for 33, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is so key. And then you talk about the wide receivers also. Mike Evans, rough game versus Lattimore. Godwin, somewhat of a rough game. So even when those guys, Antonio Brown possibly out with an injury, ineffective, Scotty Miller, Scotty does know, 1 catch for 29 yards, a big-time third down conversion. Talk about this offense there, Sean.
I mean, the offense played good. Well, we know we have weapons, okay? I mean, and first of all, you talk about Scotty Miller. I think the biggest play was Mr. Tyler Johnson, who caught that back shoulder pass.
Big time catch.
That was just that. I mean, because when you got a 44-yard run that was called back, and you go from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 11, that would deflate you. And he went and made a play to continue that drive. Who, by the way, we ended up with a field goal at the end of it. I think that was probably the biggest play of the game, honestly, to the truth be told. But at the end of the day, yes, Scotty Miller, he did what he's supposed to do. Cameron Brate, he had 4 or 5 catches a day.
Right.
And I told people last week, well, where's Gronk? Look, we kept Gronk in to help block.
Correct.
And we did the same thing today because we're going against a defensive line. They're hungry, they're dogs, they're fierce, and see,
one sack, and that's the key here because in the previous 2 matchups, this Saints defensive line really got after Brady. They harassed him, forced him into some bad throws. Coming into this game, only 2 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions, and a lot of that was predicated on the fact of the Saints defense getting that pressure in his grill.
Well, give the coaching staff credit to understand, and I'm going to give them credit for 2 things, but give them credit for understanding that with Tom Brady, who's a statue, let's just be honest, you can't just keep 5 people to block 4 when you got a great defensive line that you're going against because you're going to have problems. And that's what happened against the Bears, against the Saints both times, against the Giants even too as well. So they understood we got to start keeping more people in the block, and that helps. And so when you see those type of things happen as the season goes on, that means they've made adjustments. So that's what you saw happen today. I don't know if we have to do that against the Packers because I don't think the Packers defense is good as, let's say, the Washington Redskins.
I don't think so either.
So we saw that. So now you may be able to go out there and be a little bit more flashy and put more people in the routes to get some of those deep passes. But they give them credit, and I'm going to give another credit. Do you remember early in the year, Tom Brady, how many interceptions did he have this year? 12?
12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like the first 5 or 6 games, 4, 5, 6 games, he had 5 of them just because of that out route. Remember how many times last year I told him to dead that out route with Jameis Winston, and we threw like 15 of them?
Right.
How many out routes have you seen since like the early part of it? Because obviously Tom Brady probably told them to squash that, and they realized you need to squash. That's a dangerous throw when you're throwing from the wide hash to go over there and throw an out route, especially if you got someone like Watson running the out route,
right?
Or Peyton Barber running it. It's just a bad play. We don't see that anymore. The Bucs have now understand their strengths and how they can play and what they can do best, and that's what you see manifest itself. So when Tom Brady goes back with Brian Leftwich and say, what do you like against this team? How do you like to attack them? They're putting things together, and now you're seeing that's why they can go out there and not have those turnovers. And even if we're only going to get 199 yards, if we just play consistent football, efficient football, we can be good. And oh, by the way, defense, you got to step up and make plays.
Well, the defense definitely stepped up. 3 turnovers, 21 points, actually 4 turnovers, 1 fumble there, 3 interceptions by the great Drew Brees. What do you say about Brees in the end of his career? Because it looks like he's done, and Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston could take the reins. What do you think about Brees and his career?
Well, obviously, you got to say he's a first ballot Hall of Fame. I think we all can agree on that.
Yes.
Now, one thing I will say about that whole thing, because Saints fans will put him in the GOAT category. I don't necessarily put him in that GOAT category because, he's had a lot of opportunity to win big-time games in the playoffs, and that's when you become legend. You become a star in the preseason, you become legend in the postseason. And he's had a lot of opportunities to become legend. Outside of 2006, he hasn't never really been legend. So, again, first ballot Hall of Famer, I agree, and he's very good. He's very accurate. But I believe he left some things on the field. But again, at the end of the day, I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad because that 2 losses that you kind of already circled on your schedule when you played them, and whether or not we split with them or not, you kind of circled that as a loss. But now we don't have to necessarily now. And also, I don't know if you guys know, the Saints have terrible
cap problems, big time cap problems.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So even if they bring back Jameis Winston or they bring back Taysom Hill, they're going to lose a lot of players. Well, the Bucs got like 30, 40 million still on their cap next year, going into next year, that we can still ride this thing out, especially if we get a Super Bowl. We can still be good. I think I heard Gronk today on his interview say he wants to come back or he's going to come back.
Right.
So that's big. We already heard Brady say he's coming back. So that's big. Hopefully we can get some of these free agents, like
Shaq Barrett and a Levante David and a Chris Godwin.
Some of those guys take some hometown discounts to kind of run this thing back. Obviously, everybody's not, and obviously you're not going to be able to keep everybody. But I don't think I need to pay Dominic and Sue $9 million next year. If Dominic want to come back, let's give him about 4-5. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take 4-5 to come back, and hopefully we can do something like that. But hats off to Drew Brees. Had a great career. I wish I was Drew Brees because obviously I'd be rich.
Well, there you go. There you go. Sean, the Sports Don, thanks a lot for the call. As always, we'll see you throughout the week here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right, my friend?
All right, brother. Y'all have a good night tonight. Now.
There you go. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for you right there. Good stuff. We're going to try to wrap this up because I know you got to get over to the East Coast. So let's read the rest of these comments. And we'll see what we can do here. If I'm not mistaken, someone called our defense garbage earlier.
Thank you.
There you go. Johnny
Saying
Dean, how did Steiny asking for my drunk friend? P.S. I'm a drunk friend. Jason says we took the NFC crown unofficially with this win. Just saying. Russ says 12 with great quarterback sneak. Me Sador. So do you all believe? William, proud of our DBs. They stepped up when it counted. J Dog says, well, it's a renewed battle of the freaking Bays, and I'm ready. I know Tampa Bay is, so let's go. But I see a replay of the game we run them this year, and Rodgers quits again. Kevin says, just like the old Patriot teams, they could beat you in so many different ways, and that's what it takes to win a Super Bowl. Great point. Let's see here. Herb, y'all win, not win against
y'all will not win against Green Bay.
Greenway.
Are we playing soccer?
Greenway will destroy you. Okay. W was a beast mode tonight. Sean says, Johnson's catch reminds me of Danny Amendola's clutch third down catches. Used to call him third down. Danny Alex says, congrats, everybody. I'm raising my glass to this victory. Let's revel for the week and pray for the next. Fire those cannons as we shall. Earl says, Green Bay's defense is not nearly as good as Washington or the Saints defense. Agree?
Yeah.
Corey says, Bucs will blow out the Packers. Herb Saints says Tampa Bay has a Frankenstein team. I guess that's a good thing.
I like that.
J-Dog,
Okay.
well, they just beat your Saints, so get out of here. Get out of your feelings, man. Ryan says we hit them like they hit us in the first two. CJ says Super Bowl, let's go. Cut up Green Bay. I think that's what he's saying. Misador, Drew Brees' last pass was a completion to none other than Mike Edwards. How about the Bucs offensive line? Super Bowl 1 rematch, Green Bay versus Kansas City. Hi, I'm new, and I appreciate that, but I don't think that's going to be the Super Bowl rematch. Sorry. Drew Brees, always a class act, leaves the game with the
poop stain of Buddha still on his cheek. Oh, my God.
Corners played huge. Goodness. Tom Brady, Bucs should be thankful for the defense, giving them short field. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. I don't know if it'll happen versus Green Bay, though. Misador, William Romer, Mike Edwards, Justin again. How about that? Aaron Stinney playing his first NFL start for Alex Kappa. Misador, Ryan Thomas, say it with me, Mike Edwards. Jason says, do you realize that we may have been Drew's last game versus us? We may have won the war. J-Dog says Saints had a short field a few times. Bucs defense stopped him, held him to 3. Key right there. Ryan Thomas. Jameis is still trash. He should be ashamed of himself. Misador. Jason Dahl, not many. It was. Let's go out to Justin. Jensen set the tone for the offensive line. We saw him tonight play to the whistle.
47 all night.
Yes, he did. The game was close up until the fourth quarter. We took over the whole team came to play and done their job. That's what we pay him to do. Okay. Saints brought the brooms. We brought the shovel. Like it. Let's go out to Crazy Mofo 2. Super Bowl 1 versus Super Bowl 55. Bucs total team win.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan says Mike Edwards. Love the kid since we picked him. Let me go ahead and fire him. J-Dog says, yes, Sean, it was a team win. Alex says, I have to say the Saints are used to us beating ourselves, and we just didn't do that. Brees looked perplexed. J-Dog, no one player took over or carried it. It was a team effort in defense. Absolutely. Ryan Thomas, most underrated player on this team. Crazy Mofo 2, KC is going to destroy the Bills. Snow, J-Dog says, no way Bills are winning that game. Misador says, Ryan Thomas, not really. They hit us more frequently. However, they hit we dealt was fatal. I think Bills can keep up with KC. All I know is it's going to be a high-scoring bets on the over. Carl says we are going to run all over the Packers. J-Dog says KC is really lucky, just in my opinion. Ryan says Brady is the GOAT of all sports. Imagine if Brady beats Brees, Rodgers, and Mahomes all in the sequence to win the Super Bowl. That would be the most insanely hard road to win the Super Bowl.
That's a 30 for 30 right there.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It really is. Ryan says, great point. Good stuff there. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons. Kid steps up. Let's see. First time on this web stream. Pretty badass. Cannon fire. Absolutely. And if you're confused at what this is, it's not a podcast. It's the evolution of sports talk television, a cross between a radio and TV show. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Philip Schwegler, our editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. Want to read these comments and then get out of here, guys. 2 hours at it. So let's go ahead and do this. Rondé to Philly as Devin White is to New Orleans. I love it. I believe that they found something that will give our defense some confidence to not play scared, to play press man. Misador says, careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Careful what you wish, you might regret it. Yes, Tom, says Ryan. Philip says TB12, the GOAT. Crazy Mofo 2, Green Bay is good. I'm a fan. Weren't so good earlier on in the season versus the Bucs. Just saying. Yes, Philip, says Ryan. Ryan again. Nah, our O-line was smacking them. Our O-line at BA Keeps were smacking them. They weren't smiling tonight. Ryan says, enjoy the last game. Crazy next week. Misador says, Mahomes likely not to play this week. Prepare for Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Well, that would be something.
We'll see. Dante James, Tampa. Thomas says, Bucs defense is elite, fast, and physical. Justin, Bay, Misador. Donovan Smith earning that paycheck as of late, as everybody kind of bought into the fact now this offensive line can play to a great level. And if you keep Tom Brady clean, no matter if your wide receivers are having great games or not, he's going to find somebody open.
Yeah.
And it's because you keep them clean. And this is the reason why you're on this 6-game winning streak, because you win the 4 to run the table to get the 5th seed. You beat Washington, and now you beat New Orleans. You've been the road warriors, and they have been the road warriors.
Against good defenses, too.
Cycle Tom is on a mission. The one man in all sports I don't bet against. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, which can be said by who? Skip Bayless. There you go. J-Dog. It should have been 44-20, but Gronk dropped a pass in the end zone. So did Godwin. Good point. Green Bay Packers will be in the championship. Godwin needs to relax. He's good. He's too good to be dropping so many passes. Crazy Mofo says, sorry, everyone. That's okay. Crazy Mofo, you can have that opinion. Yes, Brady was off a bit too because Ryan says, we are sorry for Airhead Rodgers. Albert says, only 4 teams last. Tampa Bay is one of those teams. Awesome. It's time for a shot at Johnny Walker Black. Go Buccaneers.
He's drinking.
I'll fire those cannons for you right there. Hopefully you're drinking at home, guys. Be safe, please. Bucks, get ready. Carl Hardy says, cheers. Crazy Mofo 2, you need it. Ryan says, Brady knows Rodgers more than any other quarterback. Laugh out loud. Let's go, says Crazy Mofo. Jay Allen, that would be Joshua Cole Allen, LFG. J-Dog says, Bucks not worried about no Packers. J-Dog again. Go watch the game. We played them this year. Ryan says, this is Rodgers choke time. Crazy Mofo says, Packers win 38-31. Laugh out loud. Ryan, very well. Could have not gone a blowout either way. Ha, 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 says J-Dog. Let's see here. More comments, so we'll keep on reading them. And then, again, we'll end the show. See what I said? We don't need outside help. Our backups are starters. Ryan says, Packers don't have a great defense. Brady will have a field day. Ryan Thomas, Devin White, or Quan Alexander. Can we just put that to bed now? Can we put that to bed? Okay. Yeah, it's easy. Devin White. True. J-Dog says, we had McCoy and let him go for sure. What? Devin White, Ryan, again, Bucs playing great. I think he's saying, I don't know, going to be very high scoring. Crazy Mofo 2, D sucks. I guess he's saying about the Packers. I mean, McCoy this week. Sorry, Ryan says, why is everyone saying the Bills in the Super Bowl? Ryan Thomas, McCoy had his chance. Ryan, again, that would be odd. Tom Brady versus the Bills in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 55, Packers versus KC. J-Dog, laugh out loud. Peter hit him with the crickets, and I shall hit him with the crickets again because that's been Saints fans tonight. No who dat, huh? No who dat? No eating a W? No? Okay, good. Bucks KC Super Bowl. Ming Duck says, Sue is Rodgers' nightmare. Ming Duck, I like that name, by the way. Who is that? Ming Duck, is he related to Donald Duck? Just joking. Falcons Jets next year Super Bowl. That wasn't a good joke, huh? I'll go ahead and boo myself on that. I like Ming the Merciless. Is Ming the Merciless Duck? It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
Ryan Thomas, you can give us a rotation at defensive tackle. Crazy Mofo, Packers fans in the chat, press G. Crazy Mofo, again, good vibes. Misa Door, Ryan Thomas, not even close. Crazy Mofo, sorry, everyone. Ryan again, H, I don't know what he's pointing there. Yeah, that sucks. Winston wouldn't just take a pay cut, sent under Brady for 2 years. Learning, growing, and took over after Brady retired. I love Winston, but he's gone. TB12, Ryan says, Misador agree, but let these boys earn what they've been given all year. Misador again. Tom Brady hasn't had to wash his jersey in 5 weeks. Keep him upright. We will win. Crazy Mofo, laugh out loud. How old is Tom Brady? 43 going on 25. Really? And Drew Brees looked like he was 42 tonight. He really did. If this is his last game, good luck to Drew Brees, but he definitely not the same player. But again, give credit to where credit is due. This Bucs defense was unbelievable. Ryan Thomas, true, but McCoy has no wear on those spare tires. We only need him for 2 weeks. Let's see. Ortega, wish we had Vita for the playoff run. J-Dog, same, but it's okay. We're doing fine. He's still going to get a ring. Same with Howard. J-Dog again. He was doing really well in to start to Eric Scott. Saints fans can't be about how they got knocked out of the playoffs this year, but once again, they come up short. Sorry, not sorry. Tampa Bay all day. Let me go ahead and fire those. Isidore, happy life, same concept, happy quarterback, happy team. Ryan says he's 43. Ortega, shout out to Sue and JPP. Isidore, the difference between winning and losing sometimes is effort, sometimes it's luck, but always is the scoreboard. Go Bucs, fire those cannons. Ryan says people who criticize Tom Brady are idiots. You try having a great game after great game without having one that isn't so great, but Brady also didn't turn over the ball. Ryan, again, you try doing that at 43 and play perfect. Isidore, less than 4 a pass, laugh out loud, noodle arm. J-Dog, he almost did twice, Ryan, but good job to him for taking care of the football when Gronk and Godwin were not catching anything, and AB only 1 catch and was sidelined most of the game. Ryan says, we'll be there. Well, there is one that should have been intercepted for sure, laugh out loud, but it was not intercepted. We got rookies out there catching balls and little Scotty Miller. Isidore says, someone needs to check and see if JW3 has tickets for the Super Bowl. He promised he'd see us in February. Ouch. Bet still has 43. It's bound to happen. Brees being washed at 42 shows how insanely great Brady is still playing at his age. Eric Scott, crazy to see the constant shifts in momentum tonight. I can die a happy man. J-Dog says, and I'll give credit for Saints cover D. They done a good job trying to stop us, but didn't happen. Ryan says the Saints D, probably one of the best in the league. J-Dog says knocked a few out of the end zone, 1 to Gronk and 1 to Evans. Ortega, love Jensen bullying the Saints linebacker. Ryan, Isidore coming off an injury. He's not a part of this swag. Yeah, number 2 and 3 pick coming together on the same team. 59, finally get one. Dream come true. That one by Lattimore was nasty when they both went up for it to jump Evans sick. Ryan, yeah, but the Packers D is close to that level of the Saints. Agree with that?
Yep.
Going to be a high-scoring game. Isidore says few things are better than shutting down the link, but forcing Brees is close. But Brees had a great career for you. If teams were just a little bit better, he would have won more Super Bowls. You agree with that? Is that his legacy?
I don't know. I mean, he's been a great quarterback. He's up there, and 1 and 2 on all these pass completions, blah blah blah, touchdowns and everything.
Only one Super Bowl though.
And only once. I don't think they've had a complete team.
Right.
I think that's what's kept them out most of the time.
Ryan Thomas, I'm not a fan of McCoy, but we definitely need someone solid in that rotation. Nacho is decent in spot duty, just not sure he's the answer. J-Dog, yep, Tampa has a playoff team for years, but due to poor quarterback play, we fail. Gabe says, go Pack. Ryan says, but imagine beating Brees, Rodgers back-to-back to beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That would be insanely hard. J-Dog says, now that he's taking care of lease for this year. Next after, I hope from office gets a plan at quarterback. Which is why I would love to see Winston take a pay cut and play backup. That's not going to happen, I don't believe. Brady will do better next year, knowing the system better. Ryan says, but I believe this year will be it for him.
Brady?
Yeah, I don't see that.
On contract
I love Brady for showing up in these playoffs. Ryan says, hope Antonio Brown will be good to go next week. J-Dog, do you want to hear a good song? Listen to Tom Brady's new song, Laugh Out Loud. Carl says, my next jersey will be a 45. Isidore says, give the offensive line their props. Jesus, fire those cannons. J-Dog says, I'm good, bro. I'm only a Tom Brady fan because he plays for Tampa. I'm good on his music if he really has any. Eric says, all right, got mine. Glad my Godwin jersey was back, and back order had to settle for a Devin White. Good choice. My girl asked me what jersey I wanted this year. I told her Evans or Godwin, not a Brady, bro. She got me a Brooks and a Godwin. Okay.
Jerseys?
So I guess so. So much for Tom Brady to Tampa just being a good financial move by the Glazers. Let me go out to Todd really quick. Todd, welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with our editor-in-chief, Mr. Philip Schwegler, live here on the Sports Web. What's on your mind, boss?
Well, Peter, great win. I'm so excited. I don't know if anybody mentioned it because I just got home and just turned on the show, and I know you're probably getting ready to go. But
yes.
I want to say the defense played outstanding tonight, but I think the play that to me stands out was the play the rookie receiver.
Oh, Tyler Johnson with that catch. It's an amazing catch. It really was. Big time third down conversion.
Catch,
yep.
And I think that was a third down play. If we don't make that, we would have had to punt.
Yep.
And a big play that I just want to put out there that I hope people will recognize and notice. Great play by the rookie.
Absolutely. Agree. We definitely talked about that tonight. That was a great play, and a young kid stepping up as a rookie in a big-time critical situation is just amazing.
Yes, sir. All right, Peter. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right, buddy. There you go. Let me go ahead and fire those cannons for him. Again, we'll read the rest of these comments, and I promise I'll get you out of here. I just want to make sure we read them all. So much for Tom Brady to Tampa just being a good financial move by the Glazers. J-Dog, my boy's dropping all kinds of passes in the post. Don't let Todd leave. Resign him as a defensive coordinator. Ryan says, well, this is boring me now. Have fun, guys. I want to hear some butthurt Saints fans cry. Okay. Tim says, can't wait to hear all the national media pundits eat some crow tomorrow.
It won't.
Bucs time, 12. Brady, 90,500 yards and 650 touchdowns, including playoffs, 250 wins and counting. Carl says, Bradshaw picked the Aints by 17. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he's a beast. We have always had good linebackers, though. It's like sort of our Denny on D. Mike Misador, in the famous words of Derek Brooks, we'll be back and once again followed, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was tonight not a T-shirt and hat game? Absolutely. Eric Scott says, Artie Lang said it best. Every great defense must have one or two complete lunatics. Cough, cough. Devin White, he talks so much smack, and I love it. J-Dog says, no one talking about the plays my guy David made. Had a bunch. He definitely had a bunch of plays tonight. Played well also. How about the Tanner Hudson play? What was the Tanner Hudson play?
I don't remember Tanner Hudson playing.
I don't either. I think you're telling. I
Maybe
told you Brady would be
special
huge today.
teams?
Maybe. Just so we're clear, Mike Edwards needs more playing time. Misador says Gronk will be back. Winning makes everyone cheaper. It's very true. Brees just made an announcement that he was going to take some time and think about coming back next year. Let's go, says Sam Schwegler. That would be your brother, correct?
It would be.
All right. I think that's about, we're almost done with the comments here. Ada W. Rodney says, I'm glad we kept our cool. Was a lot of tension out there. Yep. Sam again, my big bro needs a haircut. Someone help him out.
Very soon.
Your bro is tremendous, man. He's been awesome all day long, so I got to get him out of here. Thomas says, fire them cannons for the defense as well. Kyle says, we are the hottest team in football. Spiritually awakened. The team has been assembled for a Super Bowl this year. We may lose Todd Bowles next season, and that's why I said, I don't know if you're going to lose Todd Bowles this season, but I tell you right now, that's why I said Super Bowl or a bust coming in. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, all the money that's locked into these guys, all the decisions you have to make. That window could be closing. You always have an opportunity with Brady, but you want to do it with this coaching staff intact, namely a Todd Bowles who's been phenomenal with this defense, and then all the other players that follow. So the Bucs have some decisions to make, but right now, Bucs fans, enjoy this. Dat Bucs, baby. RT, the Magic Man. Where is Jameis Winston now eating those W's? Let's go, Philip Schwegler. Tom Brady is the GOAT. Nick Turner says, as a Packers fan, they better find a way to get the ball away from 45. J-Dog says he was playing RE on defense. Laugh out loud.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Right end? Maybe?
Yeah, right end on defense. That was a hard win over a great defense. Lots of pundits eating crow tomorrow. J-Dog says Tanner Hudson played right in for defense a few downs. Did he?
I'd have to go back and look at that.
I don't know about that. No offseason, new system, new weapons, new conference. TB12 has all the ingredients to do the impossible. I think you're talking about Anthony Nelson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Buccaneers. Black 8890. Yeah, go. Let's see more comments, and then we'll get out of here. Luke Mosby says Saints can have the regular season wins. We'll take the ones in January. Let's go, Bucs from Melbourne, Australia. Let's see here. Chris Williams looks good on the media, disrespecting the Bucs D. Absolutely.
Always.
Fire those. I know we still got a lot of people watching, but we've been at this all day long. Philip Schwegler, editor-in-chief, your final thoughts on this Bucs big victory over the New Orleans Saints, 30-20.
Yep, defense did what they were supposed to do. They played that man press coverage, and they were very aggressive the whole game. Biggest key takeaway for this game, I think, in my opinion, is they kept their cool. They kept that mental toughness going. They played it throughout the entire game.
As I always said, you have a chance with Tom Brady. He definitely gives you a chance, and when you run the ball, it provides that balance. The defense stepped up. They caused turnovers, 21 points off of those turnovers, and now you have a date at Lambeau Field with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And Bucs fans, get this. You're only 2 games away from Super Bowl 55 with the Bucs in reality having an opportunity to do something that no other NFL team has ever done in the history of the National Football League, win in their own house. Take care of business versus the Green Bay Packers and what I said in March becomes a reality. For the great Philip Schwagler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report, for Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49, I'm your host, Peter Blake. Bucs win over the New Orleans Saints 30-20. Victory Sunday night, victory Monday. Do three things for me to end this Sports Web edition, brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Have a great night. Will you shut up and be quiet?
Talking about this matchup, I couldn't wait to get here, and I can't wait to watch this game unfold.
Round 3, why not?
I'm still bullish on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, I really am.
They knocked us down.
And tonight is, I don't want to say it's the worst, but it's pretty bad.
But we ain't been knocked out yet. So how we're going to respond? Let's set up, because we taking this fight the distance.
Highly anticipated. It's NFL royalty that we get a chance to watch.
Every man out here tonight got a pivotal role in this game right here. You focus on your job, you tell me.
We check around on the floor to the beat, and they play your song.
Brady's going to keep and take it in for the touchdown. Here's an aggressive shot.
That's the sound of the Valley Boys. In the cut, in the ride. Tell them boys get live. Yeah, we coming through. Everybody better move.
See, it's about a mindset.
Give me all you got, man. This bigger than the playoff. We need to settle down. We work first. Always. We strike first. I was saying, see that dude, man. I said, all right.
Man, we at the on the floor to the beat, yeah, they play your song.
The ball is out, and Tampa Bay has it.
On the floor to the beat, yeah, they play your song.
Lay it all out there on the line. Tampa Bay, let's get live.